If you want to become smarter every single day, the key is in the habits you build and the choices you make. This audiobook is a step-by-step guide to 25 daily actions that can transform the way you think, learn, and live. You will discover simple practices that anyone can do, from reading more effectively to reflecting on mistakes, from improving focus to sharpening your memory. Each habit is designed to make your mind sharper, your decisions clearer, and your life more intentional. By following these daily routines, you will start noticing small changes almost immediately. You will feel more confident in your thinking, more in control of your choices, and more capable of handling challenges without feeling overwhelmed. This is not about quick fixes or complicated techniques. It's about real practical actions you can take today that build lasting intelligence and resilience. You will learn how to turn every day into an opportunity to grow mentally, emotionally, and strategically. You will understand how to track your progress, use mistakes as lessons, and celebrate achievements in ways that motivate you to keep going. You will see how connecting with the right people, practicing mindfulness, and focusing on small wins can multiply your learning and strengthen your brain. By the end of this audiobook, you will have a clear roadmap for improving yourself consistently. You will understand why some people seem to learn faster, think clearer, and solve problems more effectively. And you will know exactly what steps to take to reach that level yourself. Each chapter is a tool to help you build smarter habits and a smarter life, guiding you towards sharper thinking, better focus, and greater personal growth. This is your chance to take control of your mind and commit to daily improvement. Every habit you practice here adds up, and by the time you finish listening, you will be equipped with practical strategies to think better, act wiser, and live with purpose. Stay with this audiobook, apply what you learn, and start becoming smarter every single day. Chapter 1. Read one new book daily to expand knowledge. Reading a book each day is not only a commitment to gathering information, but a commitment to reshaping the way the mind works. It is a decision to expand the limits of thought, to challenge what is already known, and to open the door to ideas that would otherwise never have been considered. When someone makes the practice of reading a book daily a priority, they are doing far more than flipping through pages. They are engaging in one of the oldest and most effective practices of human growth. Books have always been tools that allow people to step into the lives, struggles, discoveries, and victories of others without having to experience them firsthand. They compress lifetimes of wisdom into chapters that can be absorbed in hours. This is why committing to daily reading can transform a person into someone more capable, resilient, and sharp with every passing day. At first, the idea of reading one new book daily may feel overwhelming, but the essence of the practice is less about the speed of finishing and more about the discipline of consistent exposure to knowledge. A single day spent with a new book is an opportunity to gather one insight, one perspective, or one practical tool that adds to personal growth. The mind is like a muscle, and just as the body strengthens through daily exercise, the mind becomes sharper through daily reading. What matters is the willingness to give the mind the food it needs. Books are that food. They are not luxuries, but necessities for anyone who wants to live with clarity, wisdom, and resilience. One of the most powerful reasons to read daily is the expansion of perspective. Life often narrows into routines, habits, and familiar thoughts. A person tends to see the world through the lens of their upbringing, experiences, and environment. Books break that pattern by exposing the reader to minds that lived differently, thought differently, and dared to explore beyond the ordinary. A book on history reveals the patterns of civilizations, the rise and fall of leaders, and the lessons of resilience and failure. A book on psychology teaches the reasons behind human actions and the subtle ways in which the mind works. A book on science stretches curiosity into the mechanics of life and the universe. Each subject opens a door, and when a person walks through enough doors, they begin to see connections across disciplines that others miss. Reading one book a day is not just about collecting information, it is about weaving a wide web of understanding that allows deeper insight into every aspect of life. Another reason daily reading is transformative is the sharpening of focus. In a world filled with distractions, the act of sitting with a book and immersing in it is training for the mind. Each page requires attention, each chapter demands patience. This practice strengthens the ability to concentrate, and concentration is one of the rarest and most valuable skills a person can possess. While many allow their focus to be scattered across endless notifications and shallow scrolling, the one who reads daily learns to hold attention on one subject for long stretches of time. This ability carries into work, relationships, and personal goals, making every effort more effective. Reading is not just input for the brain, it is discipline for the mind. The habit also builds humility. The more one reads, the more they realize how much they do not know. Each book uncovers a gap, a blind spot, or an area left unexplored. This realization is not discouraging, it is liberating. It strips away arrogance and replaces it with curiosity. A person who reads every day stops pretending to have all the answers. They develop the strength to admit ignorance and the courage to keep searching. This humility makes them better listeners, better learners, and better leaders. When a person lives with the constant awareness that there is always more to learn, they never stop improving. Practical application of daily reading begins with time management. Many claim they cannot find the hours to finish a book every day, but the truth is most days are filled with lost moments. Waiting in lines, sitting during commutes, or scrolling through unnecessary distractions consumes hours that could be dedicated to books. A book read for 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon, and 30 minutes at night often leads to a full book completed by the end of the day. The key is consistency. Small pockets of reading accumulate into vast libraries of knowledge over time. Discipline matters more than dramatic effort. One page at a time, one chapter at a time, a reader builds the habit until it becomes natural. Another practical approach is choosing the right kind of books. Not every book needs to be a dense academic text. Wisdom is scattered across biographies, novels, essays, science, philosophy, and even personal development works. The goal is not to chase impressive titles, but to gather useful insights. A biography may teach resilience through the struggles of a historical figure. A novel may reveal the depths of human emotion and the consequences of choices. A scientific book may awaken curiosity about the hidden patterns of the natural world. Each type of book adds to the richness of understanding, and together they create a balanced mental library. The best practice is to rotate between subjects, ensuring that knowledge is both deep and wide. Another benefit of reading one book daily is the expansion of vocabulary and expression. Language is the tool of thought, and the more words a person has, the more clearly they can think and communicate. Books introduce words, phrases, and styles that gradually refine the ability to speak and write. This skill translates into clearer communication, stronger influence, and better relationships. When a person can express themselves precisely, they not only gain respect, but also avoid misunderstandings that often harm connections. Reading daily, therefore, does not just make one smarter, it makes one more effective in every interaction. Reading also builds emotional resilience. Within books, there are countless stories of struggle, endurance, and triumph. Reading about others who overcame adversity strengthens the reader's own spirit. A person may be dealing with hardship in life, and through a book, they discover someone who faced something similar and endured. This realization brings comfort, perspective, and courage. Books remind the reader that challenges are not unique, that suffering has been endured before, and that resilience is possible. Each book becomes a silent companion in the journey of growth. Over time, daily reading creates transformation so deep that others begin to notice. The reader starts to think differently, speak differently, and approach problems with greater wisdom. Their decisions become sharper because they have more examples in their mental library to guide them. They become calmer because they see life's struggles in a wider context. They become more confident because they know their mind is constantly being sharpened. This transformation is not sudden but steady, built one day at a time, one book at a time. A year of daily reading means hundreds of books absorbed, and that level of exposure to wisdom cannot help but change a person from the inside out. The greatest strength of this habit is that it compounds. The benefit of reading today is added to the benefit of reading yesterday, and together they build a momentum that carries into the future. Knowledge does not disappear. It stacks. The more one reads, the more connections the mind creates between subjects, ideas, and experiences. These connections lead to creativity, problem-solving, and innovation. Many of the greatest breakthroughs in history came from people who drew connections between different fields of knowledge. By reading daily, anyone can train their mind to think across disciplines and discover solutions others cannot see. The motivation to maintain this habit must come from a vision of who one wants to become. Reading a book each day is not about impressing others or ticking off a checklist. It is about shaping the self into someone capable of handling life with strength and clarity. It is about choosing growth over stagnation. It is about living each day knowing that the mind was fed, stretched, and challenged. When this vision is clear, the discipline becomes easier. A person does not ask, "Do I feel like reading today?" Instead, they ask, "Who am I becoming if I choose to read today?" This shift turns reading from a task into a purpose. In the end, daily reading is a practice that creates smarter, stronger, and more resilient individuals. It is not a practice for the lazy or the distracted. It is a practice for those who value growth, who value wisdom, and who value the life they are building. Each book is a tool, and with enough tools, a person can build a life of depth, meaning, and impact. The decision to read one book daily is the decision to never stop learning, never stop expanding, and never stop growing. It is the quiet discipline that shapes extraordinary lives. Reading a new book daily is one of the clearest, simplest, and most effective paths to becoming smarter every day. It requires no permission, no privilege, and no special circumstances. It only requires the choice to sit, to read, and to absorb. Anyone who makes this choice consistently will find that their world begins to expand. Problems that once felt overwhelming begin to shrink under the light of knowledge. Confusion that once clouded decisions begins to clear with understanding. Life that once felt ordinary begins to feel extraordinary simply because the mind behind it has been strengthened. A single book can change a life, but the discipline of daily reading can shape an entirely new person. This is the power of the habit, and it belongs to anyone willing to begin today and continue tomorrow, and then again the next day, until wisdom becomes as natural as breath. Chapter 2. Write your thoughts daily to sharpen clear thinking. Clarity is the foundation of strength, and nothing strengthens clarity more than the discipline of writing your thoughts every single day. Most people walk through life with a cloud of ideas, emotions, worries, and plans circling in their minds. They think constantly, but rarely pause to put those thoughts into clear words. This leads to confusion, stress, and indecision. But when you take a pen and commit your inner world to paper, everything changes. Writing is not only an outlet, it is a process that sharpens thinking, organizes emotions, and builds the discipline to understand yourself with precision. The mind becomes sharper because writing forces it to slow down, to choose words carefully, and to separate what truly matters from what is simply noise. Writing thoughts daily is not about producing something perfect. It is not about style or grammar. It is about creating a mirror for the mind. When you place your ideas on paper, you begin to see patterns that you could never notice when everything remained inside. Problems that once felt overwhelming become smaller because they are no longer hidden. They are defined, and what is defined can be solved. Goals that once felt vague become concrete because they are written, and what is written becomes easier to pursue. Writing is a simple practice, but its impact on mental clarity is powerful. This habit trains discipline in a unique way. To write daily, you must stop, reflect, and engage with your thoughts instead of rushing past them. The act itself teaches patience and focus, two qualities necessary for sharp thinking. You learn to listen to your own mind without judgment, to confront uncomfortable truths, and to discover insights hidden beneath the surface. This is why some of the greatest minds in history, from philosophers to leaders to creators, kept journals. They understood that writing was not just record-keeping, it was thinking made visible, and by making it visible, they gained control over it. When you begin writing daily, you may start with simple reflections: what you experienced, how you felt, what decisions you made, and what you noticed. Over time, this grows into a practice of analysis and strategy. You learn to question your assumptions, evaluate your choices, and identify areas where improvement is possible. The page becomes your training ground, where you practice sharpening arguments, examining beliefs, and breaking down complex problems into manageable steps. The more consistently you write, the more natural it becomes to think with precision, even outside of writing. Daily reflection turns into daily clarity. One of the strongest benefits of this practice is emotional stability. Thoughts that are left unspoken often become heavy. They turn into worries, anxieties, and pressures that weigh on the mind. But once written, they lose their hold. Writing gives your emotions a safe place to exist. And by putting them on paper, you create distance between yourself and the feeling. Anger becomes easier to manage when it is described in words. Fear becomes less overwhelming when it is clearly defined. Doubt becomes less paralyzing when it is broken down into sentences. This emotional release strengthens resilience because you no longer allow your emotions to control you. You control them by giving them shape. Daily writing also strengthens decision-making. When faced with choices, the mind often spins with conflicting thoughts. But once you write those thoughts, the best option becomes clearer. Writing helps you weigh pros and cons with honesty. It forces you to confront the consequences of each path. It helps you spot impulsive reactions and replace them with reasoned decisions. Over time, this builds a reputation within yourself. You begin to trust your own judgment because you see that your thinking process has been tested and clarified on paper. Practical steps make the habit sustainable. Set aside a small time each day dedicated to writing, perhaps in the morning to set your focus, or at night to process the day. Do not worry about being perfect. Focus only on honesty. Write as if no one will read it, because it is not for approval, it is for clarity. If you struggle to begin, start with questions. What did I learn today? What challenged me? What am I avoiding? What do I want to improve? Questions open doors, and the act of answering them trains the mind to think with depth. This practice also expands creativity. When thoughts are written freely, unexpected connections appear. New ideas surface because the brain has space to explore without judgment. Many creative breakthroughs happen not in moments of forced thinking, but in moments of reflection on paper. Writing gives the subconscious mind room to bring forward insights that were hidden beneath the surface. By capturing them daily, you begin to recognize the creative power within you. The value of daily writing extends beyond the individual. Clear thinking leads to clearer communication with others. When you practice writing, you learn to express yourself directly, honestly, and logically. This strengthens relationships, resolves conflicts faster, and allows you to share your ideas with greater impact. A sharp mind is not only a personal strength, it becomes a strength for everyone around you. Writing your thoughts daily is not a luxury. It is a necessity for anyone who wants to master themselves. It is the simplest way to sharpen the mind, steady the emotions, and create lasting clarity. Each day offers an opportunity to sit with your thoughts and shape them into words. Each day offers a chance to become smarter, calmer, and stronger. The habit may begin with a single sentence, but with persistence, it becomes the foundation of a clearer, more powerful life. Growth happens at the speed of learning, and when you commit to mastering one new skill every single day, you place yourself on a path where progress becomes inevitable. Life rewards those who adapt quickly, who build their abilities continuously, and who refuse to remain stagnant. Each new skill you acquire, no matter how small, strengthens your confidence, expands your opportunities, and sharpens your ability to navigate the challenges that life presents. The world changes rapidly, and the people who thrive are not always the strongest or the most talented at the beginning. They are the ones who choose to learn something new every day and keep growing without pause. When you dedicate yourself to learning a new skill daily, you create a rhythm of progress that compounds over time. At first, it may seem like you are only making tiny steps, but those small daily actions accumulate into an entirely new level of ability. Imagine how much more capable you would become if you added 365 new skills to your life in 1 year. Some skills may be practical, like cooking a new dish or learning how to manage your finances more effectively. Others may be mental, like solving puzzles, understanding a new concept, or improving your ability to communicate. Each of these skills adds another layer of strength to your life, and together they create a foundation of resilience and adaptability. The key is to approach learning with curiosity rather than pressure. A new skill does not always have to be something complicated or time-consuming. It can be as simple as practicing a new exercise for your body, memorizing a useful phrase in another language, or mastering a shortcut on your computer that saves you time. The point is to train your brain to expect growth each day. By doing this, you remove the fear of challenges because you are constantly expanding what you can handle. You no longer see yourself as someone who is fixed, but as someone who is always improving, and that shift in identity alone is powerful. One of the most important benefits of learning a new skill daily is building confidence. Every time you master something you could not do before, you prove to yourself that progress is possible. This inner proof becomes motivation for bigger goals. Many people fail to pursue their dreams because they doubt their own ability to grow. But when you have a daily practice of learning, you carry undeniable evidence that you are capable. Confidence does not come from empty affirmations. It comes from consistent action that shows you what you can do. Another benefit is adaptability. Life often presents unexpected situations, and the more skills you have, the better prepared you are. For example, learning how to repair something in your home saves you from depending on others. Learning how to speak a few words in another language makes travel smoother. Learning how to budget teaches you how to handle financial changes. Each skill is like a tool, and the more tools you have, the more problems you can solve. The person who chooses to learn something daily becomes someone who rarely feels helpless, because they know they are constantly equipping themselves to handle the unknown. To make this habit practical, Begin by identifying areas of life where small improvements would have an impact. If you want to be healthier, learn one new technique for cooking nutritious meals or one new exercise routine. If you want to grow professionally, study a new software, improve your public speaking, or practice negotiation strategies. If you want to build stronger relationships, learn how to ask better questions, how to listen more deeply, or how to express gratitude in meaningful ways. Each day offers endless opportunities to build skills that matter. Another way to sustain this habit is to view learning as exploration rather than obligation. Give yourself permission to experiment with skills that spark your curiosity. You may learn how to draw, play an instrument, meditate, or garden. Even if these skills do not directly connect to your career or responsibilities, they expand your creativity and broaden your mind. Curiosity-driven learning keeps the process enjoyable, and enjoyment leads to consistency. When learning feels rewarding, you will keep doing it, and over time you will notice how even small, fun skills add richness to your life. Daily skill building also strengthens memory and focus. Every time you challenge your brain with something unfamiliar, you force it to grow new connections. Neuroscience shows that the brain remains adaptable throughout life, and learning is the best way to keep it sharp. Instead of allowing your mind to decline through routine and repetition, you keep it alive by feeding it challenges. Learning one new skill a day is like exercise for the brain. It keeps it flexible, alert, and capable of handling complexity. This mental strength carries over into everything else you do. The process also teaches humility. When you start learning something new, you often begin as a beginner, making mistakes and struggling. This humbles you in a healthy way. It reminds you that growth requires patience and effort. At the same time, it builds resilience, because you learn to handle frustration without giving up. Many people avoid learning new things because they fear looking inexperienced, but those who face this discomfort gain the strength to adapt faster than others. The habit of learning a new skill daily trains you to embrace the beginner's mindset, and that is where true growth begins. Consistency matters more than size. Some days you may learn a skill that takes hours to practice, while on other days you may pick up something small that takes minutes. Both are valuable because the goal is not to measure the weight of each step, but to maintain the discipline of daily growth. Over time, the variety of skills adds up. You will look back after months and realize that you are more capable, more confident, and more prepared than you ever imagined. A powerful way to reinforce the skills you learn is to apply them immediately. If you learn a new cooking technique, make a meal using it that same day. If you learn a new word in another language, use it in conversation. If you learn a productivity method, apply it to your work schedule. Action turns knowledge into ability, and ability builds strength. Without application, learning fades quickly. With application, it becomes part of who you are. Daily skill building also inspires those around you. When others see you constantly improving, they are encouraged to grow as well. Your commitment becomes an example. You show that progress is not reserved for the gifted, but is available to anyone willing to learn. This influence strengthens relationships and creates environments where growth is valued. By choosing to learn every day, you not only transform your own life, but also inspire growth in others. Over time, this habit becomes part of your identity. You stop thinking of yourself as someone who tries to grow and start seeing yourself as someone who is always improving. This identity fuels long-term success because it eliminates the excuses that hold people back. You no longer wait for perfect conditions. You simply learn something today, and tomorrow, the day after. Success becomes a natural outcome of who you are. Learning one new skill daily is a commitment to never remain the same. It is a decision to move forward when others stand still. It is proof that growth is always possible, no matter your age, background, or current ability. Every day you add something new to your life, you build a stronger, smarter, and more capable version of yourself. The journey is endless, but each step makes you more prepared, more confident, and more alive. This habit is not about speed or perfection. It is about refusing to waste a single day without growth. Chapter 4. Ask meaningful questions daily to deepen your understanding. The quality of your life is shaped by the quality of the questions you ask yourself and others. And when you make it a daily practice to ask meaningful questions, you open the door to deeper understanding and greater wisdom. Most people move through their days on autopilot, accepting things as they are without challenging them, but those who pause to ask the right questions discover truths that others overlook. Every question is an invitation to clarity, and each one forces the mind to stretch beyond comfort and into discovery. Growth comes not from having all the answers, but from daring to ask better questions every single day. When you ask meaningful questions, you train your mind to think critically. Instead of taking information at face value, you challenge it. You look beneath the surface and search for reasons, causes, and consequences. For example, asking yourself why you reacted a certain way during a stressful moment gives you insight into your emotions and patterns. Asking what you could have done differently turns an experience into a lesson. Asking how you can improve tomorrow transforms mistakes into fuel for growth. Questions move you from passive living into deliberate living, where each day becomes a chance to refine who you are and how you see the world. This practice is powerful because it shifts focus from assumptions to exploration. Many conflicts, misunderstandings, and failures come from accepting things without questioning them. But when you ask questions, you disrupt the cycle of blind acceptance. If someone disagrees with you, instead of becoming defensive, you can ask what shaped their perspective. If you feel stuck in life, instead of complaining, you can ask what specific steps could move you forward. Each question reframes the situation, giving you new angles to see solutions where before you saw only problems. The habit of questioning also strengthens humility. To ask a question is to admit that you do not know everything, and that honesty is liberating. Many people pretend to have answers out of fear of appearing weak, but the truth is that strength lies in curiosity. Those who are unafraid to ask questions are the ones who grow fastest, because they open themselves to new information. They understand that knowledge is endless, and every person they meet or every situation they face can teach them something if they ask the right questions. Making this a daily habit does not mean forcing yourself into interrogation. It means developing the instinct to explore deeper. Start each morning by asking yourself questions that set direction. What matters most for me to focus on today? What attitude will I carry into my work and relationships? At night, reflect with questions that sharpen awareness. What did I learn today? Where did I succeed and where can I improve? Over time, these small moments of questioning create a life guided by clarity rather than confusion. Asking meaningful questions also improves relationships. When you show genuine curiosity about others, you connect on a deeper level. Instead of staying on the surface with routine conversations, you ask what inspires them, what challenges them, or what they dream about. These questions invite openness and trust, because people feel seen and valued. More importantly, they teach you empathy by revealing the perspectives of others. Each person you meet has a world of experience within them, and meaningful questions are the keys to unlocking it. In addition, this practice strengthens problem solving. When you face obstacles, the natural response is often frustration, but asking questions shifts the focus to solutions. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" a more powerful question is, What can I learn from this challenge, and what can I do right now to move forward? The first question keeps you stuck. The second one empowers you. Daily questioning trains you to respond with reason instead of reaction, and this skill builds resilience in every area of life. Questions also deepen self-awareness. Without reflection, people repeat the same mistakes and wonder why nothing changes. But when you make it a habit to question your choices, your routines, and your beliefs, you begin to uncover the hidden patterns that shape your life. You may ask yourself, are my actions aligned with my values? Am I spending time on what truly matters? What habits are holding me back from becoming the person I want to be? These questions are not comfortable, but they are necessary. They cut through excuses and push you toward honesty with yourself. The more you ask, the sharper your thinking becomes. Each question is like a tool that chisels away at confusion and builds clarity. Over time, you begin to notice that your mind no longer accepts easy answers. You train yourself to dig deeper, to think beyond the obvious, and to look for principles that guide long-term growth. This intellectual discipline sets you apart because while many people are satisfied with shallow explanations, you are seeking truth. A key part of this practice is writing down your questions and answers. When you record them, you can track the progress of your thinking. Questions asked weeks or months ago may reveal how far you have grown. They may also lead you to new questions that continue to push your growth forward. This written record becomes a roadmap of your evolving understanding, reminding you that wisdom is not achieved all at once, but built gradually through consistent curiosity. It is important to ask not only about what is, but also about what could be. Vision is born from asking questions about the future. Where do I want to be in 5 years? What skills will I need to reach my goals? Who can I learn from to accelerate my progress? These questions prevent you from drifting aimlessly and instead guide you toward deliberate action. Each answer may not be final, but each one gives you direction. The impact of this habit compounds over time. At first, asking questions may feel like a small act, but soon you will notice that your perspective is expanding. You see more possibilities, you understand people better, and you make decisions with greater clarity. Over the years, this difference becomes enormous. Those who avoid questions remain stuck in cycles of confusion, while those who cultivate curiosity continue to rise. To commit to asking meaningful questions daily is to commit to lifelong learning. It is a choice to never settle for the surface and to always push deeper. It is a practice that keeps the mind sharp, the heart humble, and the spirit open. The more you question, the more you understand, and the more you understand, the more capable you become of shaping a life of strength and wisdom. Asking questions daily is not a burden. It is a privilege. It means you are alive, aware, and willing to grow. Each day offers opportunities to explore, to reflect, and to challenge your assumptions. Each day offers the chance to understand yourself and the world more clearly. And each day, with every meaningful question, you take one more step toward becoming smarter, stronger, and more deeply connected to life. Chapter 5. Reflect on mistakes daily to strengthen future choices. The real power of growth begins when you stop running from your mistakes and instead face them with courage and honesty. Each mistake holds a lesson, and if you take time every day to reflect on those lessons, you transform failures into stepping stones that shape stronger choices for the future. Most people are afraid of mistakes because they see them as proof of weakness, but the truth is that mistakes are evidence of effort. You tried, you acted, you moved forward, and that is always better than standing still. What matters most is what you do after the mistake, and reflection is the tool that ensures you rise instead of repeating the same errors again and again. Daily reflection on mistakes sharpens self-awareness, It forces you to slow down and ask, where did I go wrong today and why? This is not about blaming yourself or drowning in guilt, but about tracing the path of your choices and understanding how one decision led to another. When you see the chain clearly, you gain the power to break it. Reflection gives you the ability to interrupt destructive patterns and replace them with decisions that lead to better outcomes. Without reflection, you risk repeating the same behavior, expecting change, but receiving the same results over and over. When you reflect on mistakes with honesty, you develop humility. You admit that you are human, that perfection is impossible, and that growth is built on trial and error. This humility is freeing because it removes the pressure to always be right and replaces it with the responsibility to always learn. Think about the times in your past when you grew the most. It was rarely from easy victories, but almost always from setbacks that forced you to rethink, adapt, and improve. By looking back on mistakes daily, you speed up this learning process, turning each error into a lesson waiting to be applied. Reflection also strengthens emotional resilience. Mistakes can feel painful, and the natural reaction is often denial or avoidance. But when you confront mistakes directly, you take control of the emotions tied to them. Instead of letting shame or frustration bury you, you reframe the mistake as feedback. You tell yourself, this happened, but it does not define me. It teaches me. Over time, this perspective makes you more confident in facing risks. You stop fearing failure because you know that even if you stumble, you have the tools to extract value from the experience. A powerful way to practice this is to set aside a few quiet minutes every evening. Ask yourself, what moments from the day did not go as planned? Did you speak in a way that hurt someone? Did you waste time that could have been used more wisely? Did you make a choice that clashed with your goals? Write these down, and then think carefully about how you could respond differently in the future. By doing this daily, you train your mind to review not only what went wrong but also how to improve, and improvement compounds over time. Reflecting on mistakes also strengthens decision-making. Each mistake you analyze provides data. You begin to recognize patterns, like the kinds of environments where you lose focus, the people who influence you negatively, or the situations where you ignore your instincts. With this awareness, you approach future choices with greater wisdom. Instead of walking blindly into old traps, you see them coming and adjust. This is how mistakes become assets. Instead of setbacks, they provide a record of experience that guides your next step. Another important benefit is the strengthening of discipline. Reflection is not easy because it requires honesty, and honesty can be uncomfortable. But making it a daily practice trains you to face reality without excuses. When you confront your own actions with clarity, you build the inner strength to act more responsibly. Discipline grows when you hold yourself accountable, and accountability grows when you reflect consistently. This daily act becomes like a mirror. You see the truth of your actions and commit to doing better. Reflection is also vital for relationships. Many conflicts arise not because people intend harm, but because they fail to reflect on how their actions affect others. When you review your day and realize where you may have spoken harshly, ignored someone's needs, or failed to listen, you gain the chance to correct it. The next time you face a similar situation, you remember the mistake and choose differently. This habit not only makes you wiser, but also deepens trust with others, because people notice when you grow from your errors. To make this practice even stronger, combine reflection with forgiveness. When you identify a mistake, do not punish yourself endlessly. Acknowledge it, accept it, and then forgive yourself while committing to improvement. Reflection without forgiveness becomes heavy and discouraging, but reflection with forgiveness becomes motivating. It allows you to move forward with clarity rather than carrying the weight of regret. The goal is not to erase mistakes, but to transform them into fuel for stronger choices. Over time, this habit creates an upward cycle. Each day you learn, each day you grow, and each day your choices improve. Even small corrections made daily lead to significant progress when compounded over months and years. The person who reflects on mistakes daily will not remain the same person for long because their awareness keeps expanding. They become wiser, calmer, more intentional, and more effective in shaping the future they want. Think of mistakes as teachers that visit you daily. Some lessons are small, like forgetting to follow through on a promise, and others are larger, like making a decision that sets you back financially or emotionally. But all of them are teachers, if you listen. Reflection is the act of sitting down in that classroom and paying attention. Without it, the teacher leaves and the lesson is lost. With it, the lesson becomes part of you, ready to guide your next move. To live a life of strength and clarity, you must be willing to face your mistakes, not once in a while, but every single day. Do not let fear or pride block you from this growth. The strongest people are not those who never fail, but those who fail, reflect, and rise wiser. Every mistake you make is a chance to practice this strength. Every evening is a new opportunity to review your day and sharpen your choices for tomorrow. If you commit to reflecting on mistakes daily, you will notice subtle but powerful changes. You will respond with greater patience instead of impulse. You will avoid traps that once caught you. You will improve relationships that once suffered from neglect or misunderstanding. You will find yourself walking with greater confidence, because you know that even if you make errors, you have the discipline to learn and adjust. This confidence creates momentum, and momentum creates progress. The truth is that mistakes are not your enemy. They are your greatest source of wisdom when you reflect on them. The habit of daily reflection is a gift you give yourself, a practice that ensures you grow stronger with every passing day. Do not let your mistakes go to waste. Do not bury them in denial or let them fade without meaning. Face them with honesty, reflect on them with courage, and carry their lessons forward with purpose. This is how you strengthen your choices, sharpen your wisdom, and build a future guided by clarity and resilience. Chapter 6. Practice active listening daily to improve real connections. The fastest way to strengthen your relationships and earn genuine respect is to practice active listening every single day. Most people believe they are good listeners, but in truth, they only wait for their turn to speak. They nod. They make noise to show they are paying attention, but their mind is already forming the next response. True listening is different. True listening requires patience, full presence, and the discipline to quiet your own thoughts so you can understand the person in front of you. It is not passive, it is an active choice to give your focus completely, and when you practice it daily, it transforms how people see you and how deeply you connect with them. Active listening is a rare skill because it demands humility. To listen fully, you must accept that someone else has something valuable to teach you. You must be willing to set aside your own ego and give them the stage, even if you disagree with them. This act alone shows respect, and respect builds trust. When people feel heard, they open up more, and when they open up, your connection grows stronger. Every meaningful relationship, whether personal, professional, or social, depends on this foundation. Without it, conversations remain shallow, misunderstandings grow, and conflicts arise. Practicing active listening daily means training yourself to notice the small details. Pay attention to tone, pauses, and expressions as much as the words. Often what someone truly feels is not in the sentence they speak, but in the hesitation before they speak it. Notice when their eyes shift, when their shoulders drop, or when their voice trembles. These signals reveal more than any sentence can, but you will only notice them if you slow down enough to truly listen. This is why active listening is powerful. It reveals layers of meaning hidden beneath the surface, giving you a deeper understanding of people. To master this habit, begin with presence. When someone speaks, stop multitasking. Put down your phone, silence distractions, and face them directly. Your body language communicates whether you value what they say. Lean forward slightly, make eye contact, and let your posture reflect attention. These small acts send a strong message. You matter. I am here with you. This alone can change the quality of any conversation, because people rarely feel that kind of undivided attention in a world filled with constant noise. The next step is to respond with intention. Active listening is not silence alone. It is showing the speaker that you are following their thoughts. Use simple cues like, "I understand," or repeat part of what they said to confirm you heard them correctly. Ask clarifying questions, not to interrogate, but to uncover their meaning. Questions like, "Can you tell me more about that?" or "How did that make you feel?" show genuine interest. This invites them to share deeper layers of their perspective, and that deepens the bond between you. Daily practice of active listening requires patience, especially in conversations that trigger strong emotions. It is easy to interrupt when you disagree, but discipline means holding back, letting the other person finish fully, and then responding thoughtfully. Even if you strongly oppose their view, listening first demonstrates maturity and fairness. People are more willing to hear your perspective after they feel their own was respected. This approach reduces conflict and increases understanding because it replaces reaction with dialogue. Active listening also sharpens empathy. When you truly listen, you begin to see life through another person's eyes. You gain insight into their struggles, their hopes, their fears. This does not mean you must agree with everything, but it does mean you understand where they are coming from. That understanding is what creates compassion, and compassion is the glue that holds strong relationships together. Without empathy, words remain empty exchanges. With empathy, they become bridges of trust. This practice is not only for personal relationships, it is one of the most valuable skills in professional life as well. Leaders who listen actively gain the loyalty of their teams. Colleagues who listen earn cooperation. Clients who feel heard remain committed. Opportunities grow when people know you are someone who values their voice. Every career is built on human connections, and the strongest connections are built by those who listen more than they speak. The challenge is consistency. It is not enough to listen well once in a while. You must make it a daily discipline. Treat each conversation as a chance to practice. Whether it is a short talk with a family member, a meeting at work, or a brief exchange with a stranger, approach it with the intention to listen fully. Over time, this habit reshapes the way people experience you. They begin to see you as someone trustworthy, approachable and wise, because wisdom often comes not from speaking but from hearing others clearly. Another benefit of active listening is personal growth. When you listen more, you learn more. Every person you meet carries knowledge, stories, and experiences that you do not have. If you only speak, you limit yourself to what you already know. If you listen, you expand your understanding of the world. Each day becomes an opportunity to discover something new, not from books or lectures, but from the people around you. This learning accumulates, making you more informed, more adaptable, and more capable of navigating life's challenges. Active listening also strengthens self-control. It teaches you to slow down, to resist the urge to dominate conversations, and to focus on another person's needs before your own. This discipline spills over into other areas of life. Patience, focus, and emotional regulation all improve. By training your attention in conversations, you sharpen your ability to concentrate in any situation. Listening becomes both a relationship skill and a tool for mental clarity. To make this practice part of your life, commit to small steps. Each day, choose one conversation where you will consciously apply active listening. Remind yourself to focus fully, to ask questions, and to hold back interruptions. At first, it may feel unnatural, but with repetition it becomes second nature. Eventually, you will notice that people share more with you, conflicts resolve faster, and relationships feel richer. This is the reward of daily discipline, the transformation of ordinary interactions into meaningful connections. Active listening requires effort, but the results are undeniable. You become the person others trust with their thoughts, the one they seek when they need understanding. You gain insight into people's true feelings, and that insight allows you to navigate relationships with wisdom. More importantly, you grow into someone who values others deeply, and that value is always returned. The connections you build through listening will outlast temporary disagreements or misunderstandings because they are built on respect and presence. The world is filled with voices competing to be heard, but few people take the time to listen. If you become the rare individual who listens actively every day, you will stand out in every environment. You will attract stronger friendships, earn greater respect, and create lasting bonds. This is not a skill reserved for a few. It is available to anyone willing to slow down and give their attention. Make it your daily habit, and watch as your relationships transform into sources of strength, growth, and genuine fulfillment. Chapter 7. Teach someone daily to reinforce your own learning. The fastest way to master anything is to teach it to someone else every single day. When you take what you know and explain it clearly to another person, you discover how much you truly understand and where the gaps in your knowledge still exist. Teaching is not about showing off what you know. It is about deepening your own grasp of the subject by breaking it down in a way that others can follow. Each time you explain an idea, your mind organizes it, your memory strengthens, and your confidence grows. This is why teaching daily is not just an act of giving, but also one of reinforcing and expanding your own learning. When you share knowledge, you are forced to simplify complex ideas. You cannot hide behind complicated words or vague explanations, because the other person will quickly show confusion if you do. This forces you to translate theory into clarity. That act of simplification makes the knowledge more solid in your own mind. You no longer just know it, you own it. By teaching even the smallest lesson each day, whether to a friend, a colleague, or even a family member, you strengthen your understanding in a way that passive learning never could. Daily teaching also sharpens communication skills. The more you practice explaining, the better you get at choosing the right words, structuring your thoughts, and adjusting to the needs of your listener. You start to sense when someone is engaged, when they are lost, and when they are ready for more. This awareness makes you not only a better teacher, but also a better thinker. Clear teaching demands clear thinking, and clear thinking is the foundation of intelligence. Another powerful benefit of teaching daily is that it creates accountability. When you commit to share knowledge regularly, you must continue learning yourself, so you always have something valuable to give. This cycle keeps you disciplined. You learn, then you teach, and by teaching you discover new questions that push you to learn even more. Instead of stagnating, you grow through the rhythm of giving and receiving knowledge. The process never ends, and with each day, your level of mastery rises higher. Teaching also creates impact that extends beyond yourself. Every time you help someone understand something new, you contribute to their growth. That growth ripples outward, influencing their choices, their opportunities, and even the people they teach later. By making it a habit to teach daily, you multiply knowledge and strengthen communities. Your own learning is reinforced, but at the same time, you create value that lives beyond you. That sense of contribution builds meaning, and meaning fuels motivation. It is important to realize that teaching daily does not require a classroom or a formal title. Teaching can happen in everyday conversations. You can share a productivity tip with a coworker, explain a healthy habit to a friend, or show a family member a skill you recently learned. These small acts count. They may seem simple, but they keep your mind active and your knowledge fresh. Over time, the accumulation of these moments builds both your expertise and your ability to express it effectively. One of the best techniques for reinforcing learning through teaching is to adopt the mindset that if you cannot explain it simply, you do not yet fully understand it. Each time you teach, challenge yourself to explain in plain words that even a beginner could grasp. This exercise reveals weaknesses in your knowledge. If you stumble, it shows you where to study more. If you succeed, it shows you that the concept is truly yours. This constant cycle of testing through teaching strengthens your confidence. Daily teaching also develops patience and empathy. Not everyone learns at the same pace, and as you explain, you must adjust to the listener's needs. You learn to slow down, repeat when necessary, and find new ways of saying the same thing until it clicks. This process stretches your ability to adapt, and that adaptability carries into other areas of life. By teaching others, you are training yourself to understand perspectives outside your own, and that awareness is a sign of true intelligence. Another advantage is that teaching forces you to stay present. You cannot drift off mentally while explaining something to another person. You must stay focused, attentive, and responsive. This trains your concentration and keeps your mind sharp. In a world full of distractions, this level of focus is rare and valuable. The more you teach, the more natural it becomes to concentrate deeply on the task at hand. Making this a daily habit does not require large amounts of time. Even 5 or 10 minutes spent teaching someone a small piece of knowledge can reinforce your learning and strengthen your connections. The key is consistency. Set the intention that every day you will share at least one idea, one skill, or one lesson with someone. At first, it may feel forced, but soon it becomes part of who you are. You become known as someone who contributes, someone who shares value, someone who lifts others while continuing to grow yourself. In professional life, this habit can set you apart. People naturally respect those who are willing to teach without arrogance. When you share knowledge freely, others see you as a leader. Even without a formal title, you gain influence because you make others stronger, and that influence opens doors. At the same time, your own expertise grows deeper because you are constantly refining it through explanation. Over time, this positions you as an authority, not because you claim it, but because your daily actions prove it. In personal life, teaching strengthens bonds. When you help a loved one understand something, you create shared experiences and moments of growth together. It shows you care enough to give your time and effort to support their progress. These moments build trust and connection, and those connections are the foundation of meaningful relationships. Perhaps the greatest benefit of teaching daily is that it shifts your mindset from keeping knowledge to spreading it. Many people guard what they know, fearing competition or judgment. But the more you give away through teaching, the more you receive in return. Teaching makes you generous with your knowledge, and generosity attracts opportunities. When people know you are willing to share, they come to you, they collaborate with you, and they support you. The habit of teaching daily is a powerful tool for reinforcing your own learning, shaping your communication, and building lasting influence. Every time you explain, you practice clarity. Every time you simplify, you strengthen understanding. Every time you share, you grow. If you commit to this discipline, you will not only become smarter each day, but also become someone who helps others rise with you. That is the mark of true mastery, not just knowing, but teaching, not just growing, but lifting others as you climb. Chapter 8. Memorize something useful daily to boost mental strength. Your mind becomes sharper and stronger every day you train it to remember something useful, because memory is like a muscle and it only grows when you put it to work. In a world where we rely heavily on technology to store information for us, many people forget how powerful their own memory can be when it is exercised with discipline. Committing even a small piece of valuable knowledge to memory daily is not just about storing facts. It is about building mental resilience, expanding focus, and increasing confidence in your ability to retain and recall what matters. When you make the choice to memorize something meaningful each day, you create a habit that feeds long-term growth. It could be a new word that improves your vocabulary, a principle that strengthens your discipline, a historical date that gives perspective, or a short quote that inspires action. The content is less important than the act of stretching your brain consistently. Each day, you add one more piece of knowledge that stays with you, and over time, those pieces add up to a stronger foundation wisdom that you can draw on any time without needing a device to remind you. The act of memorization requires focus, and focus is the skill many people struggle with in today's fast-moving world. When you sit down to commit something to memory, you are training yourself to resist distraction. Your brain learns to hold attention on one task, and this ability carries into every area of life. The same concentration you use to remember a passage can later help you stay engaged in work, relationships, or problem solving. This is why daily memorization builds not only memory but also discipline of thought. Another advantage of memorizing daily is that it improves clarity of speech and expression. When you remember words, ideas, and structures, you give yourself a greater toolbox to use in conversations. Instead of struggling to find the right phrase, your mind has a reserve of useful knowledge ready to be applied. People naturally respect someone who can recall information without hesitation because it demonstrates both intelligence and preparation. The habit of memorization makes you that person confident, articulate, and reliable. It also strengthens problem-solving abilities. Memory is not only about recalling facts, it is about connecting them. The more knowledge you retain, the more links your brain can form between ideas. When faced with a challenge, you can draw from a wide range of stored information to see patterns, make comparisons, and build solutions. Someone who memorizes useful content daily has a larger mental library to consult, and this library often provides the exact insight needed at the right moment. This practice also builds emotional strength. For example, if you memorize meaningful quotes or short passages of wisdom, those words become anchors in difficult times. In moments of stress or doubt, your mind can recall a principle you learned and repeat it like a guiding light. These memorized truths remind you of your values, keep you steady under pressure, and help you choose strength instead of panic. The right words remembered at the right time can completely change the way you face challenges. To make memorization part of your daily routine, start small. Choose a sentence, a principle, or a short piece of information each day. Repeat it aloud several times, write it down, and test yourself later without looking. Before bed, review it once more. The repetition fixes it in your mind, and the act of recalling it later strengthens the pathway in your brain. As you become more comfortable, increase the difficulty. Memorize longer passages, lists, or concepts that stretch your limits. Over time, you will notice your memory growing more reliable and your capacity to retain expanding. Daily memorization also cultivates patience. It takes effort and time to fully absorb something, and you cannot rush the process. By giving yourself this discipline each day, you learn to value slow, steady progress over instant results. This patience becomes a mental habit that influences how you handle other areas of life. Projects, goals, and relationships all benefit from your ability to stay consistent without frustration. There is also a confidence that comes with carrying knowledge within you. In conversations, in meetings, or in personal reflection, you are no longer dependent on searching for reminders or notes. You trust your mind to provide what you need, and this trust builds self-assurance. Each day you prove to yourself that your brain is capable of storing and recalling, and this self-belief fuels greater courage to learn more. Another layer of benefit comes from the sense of accomplishment you feel each day you complete the task. Small victories matter because they build momentum. Memorizing even a few lines may seem minor, but over weeks and months, the accumulation is significant. You look back and realize how much you now carry within you that you did not before, and this fuels motivation to continue. Growth is addictive when you see the results. Memorizing useful knowledge daily also honors the discipline of mental self-reliance. In a time when external devices hold our schedules, contacts, and information, training your memory is an act of independence. You are proving to yourself that your mind is still sharp, still capable, still strong. You do not surrender entirely to technology. You keep the power of your intellect alive and active. This habit gives you freedom, because you know your strength does not depend entirely on outside tools. It is also worth noting that memorization can bring joy. The act of reciting something from memory carries satisfaction and pride. Whether it is a line of poetry, a principle of philosophy, or a meaningful phrase from a mentor, the ability to hold it within and speak it aloud connects you to the wisdom of others in a personal way. Knowledge becomes more than information, it becomes part of who you are. By practicing memorization daily, you also expand your capacity for learning new skills. A sharp memory speeds up every other form of growth. You learn faster, retain better, and apply knowledge more effectively. This creates a cycle of improvement. Stronger memory leads to quicker learning encourages more memorization, and the loop continues upward. The commitment to memorize something useful every day may seem small, but it is one of the most powerful habits you can build for mental strength. It sharpens focus, deepens understanding, strengthens expression, and provides resilience in the face of challenges. It teaches you patience, fuels your confidence, and gives you knowledge you can carry anywhere without limitation. Each day you choose to memorize, you are investing in the strength of your own mind. The truth is simple: a strong memory is not a gift reserved for a few. It is a skill built through effort and discipline. By making it a daily practice, you are shaping a mind that stays sharp, adaptable, and reliable, no matter what stage of life you are in. Begin today, choose something useful, commit it to memory, and tomorrow choose again. Over time, you will build a mind filled with strength, wisdom, and clarity, a mind prepared to face the challenges of life with confidence and power. Chapter 9. Track progress daily to stay focused on growth. Progress that is not measured is progress that is easily forgotten, and the quickest way to lose momentum is to move without knowing whether you are getting closer to your goal. Tracking your progress daily is not about being obsessed with results. It is about staying aligned with the vision you set for yourself and holding yourself accountable for the effort you put in. Every day that you write down what you did, where you improved, and where you fell short, you give yourself a clear mirror that shows whether you are truly moving forward or simply staying busy without growth. The act of tracking gives clarity. Many people mistake activity for achievement, but without measurement, you cannot distinguish between the two. A person may spend hours working, but if they are not keeping track of whether that work brings them closer to their goal, they may find themselves repeating the same cycle without progress. Daily tracking prevents this trap by shining light on the exact steps taken and their results. It tells you if your actions are effective or if adjustments are necessary. Tracking also strengthens focus. When you know that at the end of the day you will have to record what you accomplished, you approach your tasks with greater seriousness. You prioritize the important work instead of getting lost in distractions, because you are aware that the record will reveal the truth. This awareness makes you intentional with your time and helps you avoid wasting energy on tasks that do not matter. Focus is sharpened when you know you must account for it. Beyond focus, tracking progress builds motivation. Seeing evidence of improvement, even in small amounts, fuels the desire to keep going. A single page filled with notes of daily progress becomes proof that you are moving forward, and this proof is powerful on days when doubt creeps in. When your mind tells you that you are not advancing fast enough, the record shows otherwise, giving you confidence to continue. Progress may be slow, but when it is visible, it is undeniable. Another benefit of tracking is that it highlights patterns. By reviewing your records, you can identify what works best for you and what holds you back. You may notice that you are most productive at a certain time of day, or that particular habits consistently lead to setbacks. Without tracking, these insights are hidden. With tracking, you gain valuable knowledge about yourself, which allows you to refine your approach and grow more effectively. Daily tracking also strengthens discipline. The simple act of writing down your progress requires consistency, and consistency builds strength. Some days you may feel like skipping it, but holding yourself to the habit builds mental toughness. Over time, this toughness translates into other areas of life, teaching you that discipline in small actions supports discipline in larger ones. Each entry you make is a declaration that you are serious about your growth. Tracking does more than record the past. It shapes the future. When you review your notes, you see not only what has been done, but also what must come next. You can plan with greater precision because you are not guessing. You have real data from your own actions. This makes your goals more realistic and your strategies more effective. Growth becomes intentional rather than accidental. Another important advantage is the way tracking helps you celebrate milestones. Without a record, progress may pass unnoticed. You may reach a level of achievement, but fail to acknowledge it because you never measured how far you have come. Tracking ensures that you see every victory, big or small, and use it as fuel to aim higher. Celebration is not about pride. It is about reinforcing belief in your ability to achieve more. Tracking also prevents discouragement. There will be days when you feel stuck, when it seems nothing is moving. On those days, reviewing your progress shows that you have already traveled far from where you started. This perspective keeps you from quitting. It reminds you that growth is not always visible in the moment, but becomes clear when measured over time. Daily tracking also strengthens decision-making. When you have a clear record of your actions and outcomes, you can make better choices about what to continue and what to change. Instead of relying on vague memories or emotions, you have solid evidence. This makes your decisions more objective and less influenced by temporary moods. Better decisions lead to better results, and better results fuel more progress. Tracking also nurtures patience. Growth often feels slow, but recording small steps teaches you that success is built on accumulation. Each day's effort may seem small, but together they form a powerful chain of progress. By writing them down, you see that progress is never wasted. Patience grows when you understand that every step, no matter how small, contributes to the bigger picture. Another strength of daily tracking is accountability. You cannot lie to yourself when the record is in front of you. If you waste a day, it shows. If you succeed, it shows. The page does not hide the truth, and this honesty is necessary for real growth. Many people fail because they avoid accountability, but when you commit to tracking, you face reality daily. That reality forces you to grow stronger. Daily tracking also improves self-awareness. By writing down what you did and how you felt about it, you learn about your own behaviors, strengths, and weaknesses. This knowledge helps you work smarter. You stop fighting against yourself and instead create strategies that align with your natural rhythms and tendencies. Self-awareness is power, and tracking is one of the best ways to build it. Another benefit is that tracking makes long-term goals less overwhelming. Big dreams often feel distant and intimidating, but when broken down into daily actions and recorded consistently, they become manageable. You no longer feel lost because you can see exactly what has been done and what still lies ahead. The journey becomes clearer, and clarity removes fear. Daily tracking also gives you a sense of control. Many people feel powerless because they cannot see how their efforts connect to their results. But when you track, you see the direct link between your actions and your outcomes. This connection empowers you because it proves that your choices shape your future. You are not a victim of chance. You are the driver of your growth. Over time, the practice of tracking transforms your mindset. You begin to value progress over perfection, consistency over bursts of effort, and patience over impatience. You realize that success is not a single event, but the accumulation of daily choices. This mindset shift is one of the greatest rewards of tracking because it keeps you committed long after motivation fades. When you make tracking your progress a daily habit, you are not just recording actions, you are shaping the direction of your life. You are building focus, clarity, discipline, and confidence. You are ensuring that every day counts toward your growth instead of slipping away unnoticed. You are turning your goals into reality step by step, with proof to back it up. The path to success is not hidden. It is revealed through consistent action and honest measurement. Tracking your progress daily ensures that you stay on that path without losing sight of where you are going. Begin today. Write down what you did, review it tomorrow, and let that record push you forward. With each day measured, each step recorded, and each victory acknowledged, your growth will no longer be a hope. It will be a visible, undeniable reality. Chapter 10. Practice gratitude daily to strengthen positive mindset. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces you can bring into your life because it shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present, from what you lack to what you already have. When you begin each day with gratitude and end each night by acknowledging the good, you strengthen a mindset that resists negativity and grows more resilient with time. A grateful mind is not naive or blind to challenges. Instead, it sees beyond the difficulties and recognizes that even in hardship there are lessons, opportunities, and blessings waiting to be noticed. Practicing gratitude daily is not just about feeling good. It is about building mental strength, emotional balance, and a perspective that allows you to move forward with courage. When you make gratitude a habit, you train your brain to see abundance instead of scarcity. Most people focus on what they do not yet have, and this creates feelings of frustration and envy. Gratitude breaks that cycle by reminding you that progress is built on appreciating the present. Each time you stop to recognize something good, no matter how small, you shift your energy. That shift is powerful because it shapes your mood, your choices, and your interactions with others. A person rooted in gratitude attracts positivity, while a person focused only on lack often repels it. Daily gratitude also improves relationships. When you express genuine thanks to people in your life, whether family, friends, or colleagues, you make them feel valued. Everyone wants to feel seen and appreciated, and gratitude provides that. Over time, these small expressions of thanks strengthen bonds and create trust. Conflicts become easier to resolve because gratitude reminds you of the good in others rather than focusing only on flaws. A simple word of appreciation can turn a strained relationship into one of support and connection. Gratitude also protects your mind from stress. When life becomes overwhelming, it is easy to fall into worry and negativity. But if you stop, breathe, and recall something to be grateful for, you create a moment of calm. That pause shifts your perspective and reduces the weight of stress. Daily gratitude trains your mind to look for light even in dark situations, and that ability helps you maintain balance when others break under pressure. Another strength of gratitude is how it fuels motivation. Some believe that focusing on what you already have will make you complacent, but the opposite is true. Gratitude provides the energy to move forward because it reminds you that progress is already happening. When you feel thankful for where you are, you create excitement for what can come next. Gratitude fuels ambition without greed. It allows you to chase growth from a place of fulfillment rather than emptiness. Gratitude also sharpens awareness. When you consciously look for things to be thankful for each day, you become more attentive to your surroundings and experiences. You notice small details that previously went unnoticed. A kind gesture, a moment of peace, an opportunity to learn. This awareness makes life richer and more meaningful because you are no longer rushing past the good in search of something better. Gratitude slows you down enough to see that many of the things you desire are already present in some form. Daily gratitude strengthens resilience by turning setbacks into lessons. Instead of only seeing loss or failure, you begin to recognize the growth hidden inside challenges. You might be grateful for the strength you gained, the clarity you discovered, or the wisdom you earned from difficulty. This perspective does not erase pain, but it gives it purpose, and that makes you stronger. Resilience grows when you realize that even in hardship, there is something to value. Gratitude also improves physical well-being. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude daily experience better sleep, reduced stress, and improved overall health. When your mind is filled with positive thoughts before bed, you rest more deeply. When you carry thankfulness throughout the day, your body feels less burdened by tension. The link between mind and body is undeniable, and gratitude nourishes both. Another benefit is how gratitude increases self-worth. When you reflect daily on what you appreciate about yourself, your efforts, your progress, your qualities, you begin to see your own value more clearly. Many people overlook themselves when practicing gratitude, but acknowledging your own strengths is essential. Self-gratitude builds confidence, and confidence makes it easier to face new challenges and opportunities. Daily gratitude also prevents comparison. It is natural to look at others and wish for what they have, but this habit weakens your joy. Gratitude shifts your focus back to your own life, reminding you that your journey is unique and valuable. When you are grateful for your path, you stop measuring it against someone else's. This frees you from unnecessary envy and allows you to move forward with peace. Gratitude creates a cycle of positivity. The more you practice it, the more reasons you find to continue. Each day you add another layer of strength to your mindset until gratitude becomes your natural response to life. Over time, this habit changes how you speak, how you act, and how you see the world. You become someone who uplifts others, not by pretending everything is perfect, but by consistently choosing to see what is good. The key to making gratitude a true force in your life is consistency. It cannot be something you do occasionally when you remember. It must be a daily practice, like breathing for the mind. Write down 3 things you are grateful for each morning. Say thank you to someone each day. Reflect on your blessings before going to bed. These actions may seem small, but repeated daily, they create a powerful shift in how you live. Gratitude also teaches patience. When you are thankful for today, you stop rushing desperately toward tomorrow. You begin to trust the process of growth because you see value in each stage. Gratitude tells you that life is not only about achieving the next goal, it is about appreciating the journey itself. That perspective reduces anxiety and allows you to live with calm strength. Practicing gratitude daily also makes you a source of inspiration to others. When people see that you approach life with thankfulness, they feel encouraged to do the same. Your example reminds them that joy is not found in having everything, but in recognizing the good already around them. Gratitude is contagious, and by practicing it openly, you spread positivity into your environment. Every day you choose gratitude, you build mental armor that protects you from negativity. You train your mind to notice blessings, strengthen your relationships, fuel your motivation, and deepen your resilience. Gratitude is not a luxury, it is a necessity for a strong and balanced mindset. The more you practice it, the more you realize that happiness is not something to chase in the future. It is something you can create today. Make gratitude a daily discipline. Write it, speak it, think it, and live it. Even on the hardest days, there is something to acknowledge. Each time you practice it, you are strengthening a mindset that no obstacle can easily shake. With gratitude as a daily habit, you not only build a positive outlook, you build a life that feels meaningful, resilient, and deeply fulfilling. Chapter 11. Limit distractions daily to protect deep focus time. Great achievements are never built on scattered attention. They are born from the ability to direct your full energy toward what truly matters without letting distractions steal your time and focus. Every day you face countless interruptions, messages, notifications, noise, and even your own wandering thoughts, and if you do not set boundaries, those distractions will control your life. Protecting deep focus time is not about working longer hours. It is about working with clarity and intensity that produces meaningful progress in less time. When you limit distractions daily, you give your mind the space it needs to think clearly and produce quality work. Many people mistake being busy for being productive, yet busyness often comes from doing shallow tasks while being pulled in multiple directions. Real productivity comes from deep focus, the kind of concentration that allows you to fully immerse yourself in a task without constant interruptions. Each time you remove a distraction, you buy back valuable minutes of focus, and over weeks and months, those minutes compound into powerful results. The human brain is not designed to handle endless interruptions. Each time you switch from one task to another, your mind pays a cost in energy and attention. Studies have shown that even small distractions can leave a lingering effect that weakens your ability to perform at your best. This means every glance at your phone, every unnecessary notification, and every unplanned conversation has the potential to steal not just seconds, but the mental clarity required for deeper thinking. Protecting focus is about guarding your limited mental energy so you can apply it where it counts most. A key part of limiting distractions is controlling your environment. If your surroundings are filled with noise and clutter, your mind mirrors that chaos. Creating a clean, organized space tells your brain that it is time to focus. Turning off unnecessary notifications and placing your phone out of reach removes temptation before it has a chance to pull you away. These small adjustments create a physical environment that supports focus instead of undermining it. Equally important is controlling your internal distractions. Often, it is not just the outside world that interrupts us, but our own thoughts, urges, and habits. Training your mind to stay present takes practice. One way is to set specific periods of deep work where you commit fully to one task and resist every urge to check something else. Over time, this discipline strengthens and your ability to focus grows. What feels difficult in the beginning becomes natural with repetition. Limiting distractions also requires clarity about priorities. When you do not know what matters most, everything feels urgent, and distractions easily win your attention. By defining your top priorities each day, you create a filter that helps you recognize what deserves your time and what does not. Each time you say no to a distraction, you are saying yes to your priorities. This is how meaningful progress is built, through consistent choices that align with your goals. Protecting deep focus time is not about removing joy or relaxation from life. It is about being intentional with when and how you use your energy. There is a time for rest and connection, but there must also be time reserved for deep work that demands your full presence. When you give yourself those protected hours of focus, you often find that you accomplish more in less time, leaving you with greater freedom and joy in other parts of life. Limiting distractions daily also strengthens self-respect. Each time you resist the pull of meaningless interruptions, you prove to yourself that you are in control. This builds confidence and self-trust, because you know you can follow through on your commitments. On the other hand, constantly giving in to distractions weakens your trust in yourself, leaving you feeling scattered and unfulfilled. The habit of protecting focus is a statement of self-discipline and self-value. Another powerful effect of reducing distractions is the improvement in creativity. Deep focus allows your brain to make connections that surface-level attention cannot. Many of your best insights come not when you are half engaged, but when you are fully immersed. By guarding your time from distractions, you create the mental stillness needed for creative breakthroughs. Innovation rarely comes from a distracted mind, it comes from a mind free enough to explore deeply. When you practice this daily, you also learn to differentiate between urgency and importance. Distractions often disguise themselves as urgent matters that demand immediate response. But urgency does not always equal importance. By pausing before reacting, you reclaim control over your time. You choose deliberately instead of being pulled unconsciously. Over time, this ability to separate the urgent from the important becomes one of the greatest skills you can develop. Protecting focus also improves the quality of your relationships. When you practice deep focus at work, you complete your tasks more effectively, which allows you to be fully present with others during your personal time. When you apply the same focus to conversations, listening without distraction, the people around you feel valued and understood. In both work and life, removing distractions allows for deeper connection and stronger bonds. It is also important to recognize that distractions are not always external. Sometimes they are habits of avoidance. People often allow themselves to be distracted because focus can be uncomfortable. Deep work requires effort, patience, and persistence, and distractions offer an easy escape. Facing this truth is part of growth, choosing to endure the discomfort of focus rather than running from it. The more you train this discipline, the easier it becomes. Limiting distractions is not about perfection. There will always be unexpected interruptions, and you cannot control everything. What matters is building a lifestyle that minimizes what can be controlled and strengthens your ability to return to focus quickly after interruptions. This is where consistency is more powerful than perfection. Daily practice builds resilience, and resilience ensures you can protect your focus even in imperfect conditions. Every great achievement in history was created by people who mastered the art of deep focus. They were not superhuman, but they made deliberate choices to protect their time and energy from the endless noise of the world. You have the same ability today. Each time you silence a distraction, you are investing in your growth. Each period of deep focus you protect becomes a building block toward mastery, success, and fulfillment. Make it a non-negotiable habit to limit distractions daily. Treat your focus time as sacred, because it is in those hours of full attention that your best work, deepest learning, and most meaningful progress will be made. Do not let shallow interruptions rob you of your potential. Guard your focus, nurture it, and use it to build a life of purpose and achievement. The more you practice this discipline, the more powerful your mind becomes, and the more unstoppable your growth will be. Chapter 12. Exercise daily to improve brain clarity and health. Strength begins in the body, but its greatest impact is on the mind, and daily exercise is one of the most powerful habits you can build if you want sharper thinking, stronger focus, and greater energy for life. Moving your body is not only about building muscles or improving appearance, it is about creating a state of clarity where your brain functions at its best. When you exercise every day, you are not just training your body, you are fueling your mind with the oxygen, energy, and balance it needs to perform at a higher level. The connection between physical activity and brain health is undeniable. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, delivering oxygen and nutrients that sharpen memory, improve concentration, and boost mental speed. Each time you move, you stimulate the release of chemicals that reduce stress and elevate mood, making it easier to think clearly. The simple act of taking your body through consistent movement has the power to remove mental fog and replace it with clarity. Exercising daily also builds discipline that carries into every area of life. When you commit to moving your body each day, even for a short period, you are proving to yourself that you can honor your commitments. This sense of consistency strengthens mental toughness, and that toughness extends beyond fitness into work, learning, and personal growth. You teach yourself that excuses cannot control you, and that lesson is as valuable as the physical benefits. Another way exercise sharpens the brain is by reducing stress. Modern life floods the mind with pressure, noise, and constant demands. When stress builds unchecked, it clouds judgment and weakens memories. Exercise acts as a release valve, lowering stress hormones and replacing them with endorphins that calm the mind. Even a brisk walk can shift your mental state from overwhelmed to balanced, and over time, this becomes one of the strongest defenses against burnout. Daily physical activity also improves sleep, and sleep is essential for brain clarity. A tired mind struggles to focus, recall information, and make good decisions. Exercise helps regulate your natural rhythms, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. The result is a rested brain that can process information more effectively, solve problems with greater creativity, and stay alert throughout the day. Without movement, rest often suffers, but with consistent exercise, sleep becomes a natural ally in your growth. Exercise is also a natural confidence builder. When you move daily, you feel stronger, more capable, and more energized. This confidence translates directly into sharper thinking, because a confident mind is not weighed down by self-doubt. Instead, it can focus on opportunities, solutions, and growth. The physical progress you make reminds you that effort creates results, and that reminder strengthens your mindset in every other area. Daily movement also enhances learning. Studies have shown that exercise stimulates the growth of new brain cells and strengthens connections between existing ones. This means every time you move, you are not only protecting your brain but actively making it more capable of absorbing and retaining knowledge. For anyone seeking personal growth, daily exercise becomes a vital tool to accelerate learning and keep the brain sharp for years to come. Consistency is more important than intensity. You do not need to spend hours in the gym to reap the benefits. Even small daily actions, walking, stretching, light strength training or mindful movement are enough to improve clarity and focus. What matters most is building the habit and sticking to it. When you choose to move your body every day, you signal to your brain that health and clarity are priorities, and your brain responds by functioning at a higher level. Another powerful effect of exercise is its ability to elevate mood. A positive state of mind naturally improves focus and creativity. When you feel good, you think better. Daily exercise gives you that consistent boost of energy and positivity, making it easier to handle challenges without being weighed down by negativity. Over time, this emotional strength becomes a foundation for resilience. Exercising daily also reduces the risk of mental decline with age. Movement protects memory, reduces the likelihood of cognitive diseases, and keeps the mind active and alert. By choosing to exercise now, you are investing in decades of sharper thinking and stronger health. This long-term perspective gives meaning to each small effort, reminding you that daily movement is not just about today, it is about the future you are building. Another overlooked benefit is the way exercise teaches focus. When you train your body, whether lifting weights, running, or practicing balance, you are training your mind to stay present. This practice of being in the moment builds mental endurance, which later translates into your work, studies, and relationships. The ability to stay locked into one task without drifting is strengthened every time you push through a workout with full attention. Daily movement also builds resilience to discomfort. Life will challenge you, and the ability to remain calm under pressure is essential. Exercise teaches you to endure effort, breathe through strain, and push forward even when it is uncomfortable. This resilience becomes a powerful tool in daily life, allowing you to handle challenges without losing clarity. Each workout is a training ground not just for the body, but for the mind. Exercise also boosts creativity. Many people notice that their best ideas come during or after physical activity. This is not coincidence. Movement stimulates the brain in ways that open new pathways of thought. When you are stuck on a problem, moving your body can unlock solutions that sitting still cannot. Daily exercise becomes a practice of not only strengthening your health, but also unlocking your creativity. The mental clarity that comes from exercise also improves decision-making. A clear mind sees choices more objectively and avoids the fog of stress or fatigue. This clarity helps you make wiser decisions consistently, which leads to better outcomes in both personal and professional life. Over time, the compounding effect of these better choices creates a life of greater stability and success. Daily exercise also connects you with discipline over comfort. Comfort tempts you to stay still, but growth demands movement. Each day you choose exercise, you are choosing growth over ease. That decision builds character, and character strengthens every part of life. This discipline becomes part of who you are, a person committed to growth and clarity, not someone controlled by laziness or distraction. Exercising daily also reminds you that progress is built on action. You cannot simply wish for better health or clearer thinking. You must move. Each workout is proof that consistent effort brings results. Over time, this truth becomes ingrained, and you start applying it to everything else in life. You realize that the path to improvement is always through action, not excuses. Making exercise part of your daily routine is one of the best decisions you can make for both your mind and body. Every time you move, you are giving yourself energy, focus, and clarity. Every day you stay consistent, you are building a stronger foundation for learning, growth, and resilience. Exercise is not optional if you want to perform at your best. It is essential. Your body is the tool that carries your mind, and the stronger and clearer it is, the more capable you become in every area of life. Commit to daily exercise, not just for physical strength, but for mental clarity, emotional balance, and long-term health. Every step, every stretch, every movement is a deposit into the future you are building. Move daily, and your brain will reward you with clarity, focus, and a sharper vision for the life you are creating. Chapter 13. Sleep well daily to restore energy and memory. Success during the day is built at night, and nothing is more powerful for restoring your energy and strengthening your memory than quality sleep. Without proper rest, your body weakens, your mind slows, and your emotions lose balance. But when you sleep well every single night, you recharge fully, sharpen your brain, and wake with the energy to attack the day with strength and clarity. Sleep is not wasted time. It is the foundation that allows everything else you do to matter. Your brain works harder while you sleep than most people realize. During the day, you are constantly taking in new information, storing experiences, and processing emotions. At night, your brain organizes it all, consolidating memories, clearing out unnecessary details, and strengthening the knowledge you want to keep. If you sacrifice sleep, you sacrifice your ability to remember, learn, and make sound decisions. But when you honor rest, you give your brain the chance to operate at its full capacity. Sleep also restores the energy reserves of your body. Every thought, every movement, every choice throughout the day consumes energy. Without rest, your battery runs low, and even the simplest tasks feel heavy. But with consistent quality sleep, you refill that battery completely, waking ready to focus, to act, and to create. When you protect your sleep, you protect your productivity and effectiveness. Another critical function of sleep is its ability to repair the body. While you rest, cells regenerate, muscles recover, and your immune system strengthens. This is why people who prioritize sleep get sick less often, heal faster, and maintain stronger health over the years. If you skip rest, your body breaks down more quickly, leaving you vulnerable to stress and illness. Sleep is not a luxury. It is the body's most powerful healing system. Your emotional health also depends heavily on sleep. A tired brain reacts more negatively, gets irritated more easily, and struggles to regulate emotions. This can damage relationships, cloud your judgment, and lower your motivation. On the other hand, a well-rested brain handles challenges calmly, finds solutions more easily, and maintains balance even in stressful situations. Each night of good sleep strengthens your emotional resilience. Memory is sharpened by rest in a way that nothing else can match. You may study, practice, or train for hours, but without quality sleep, your ability to retain what you've learned is cut in half. Sleep strengthens neural connections, making recall sharper and faster. Whether you are learning a skill, building knowledge, or training your body, sleep ensures the effort sticks. Rest turns effort into mastery. Another hidden benefit of consistent sleep is its effect on creativity. When your brain is fully recharged, it is more capable of connecting ideas in new ways and generating innovative solutions. Some of the best breakthroughs people experience come after waking from deep rest, because the brain has quietly worked on problems overnight. By protecting your sleep, you give yourself a creative edge that tired minds cannot achieve. Sleep also influences discipline. When you are exhausted, willpower weakens, and it becomes easy to skip habits, make poor choices, or waste time. But with good rest, your discipline is stronger, your focus sharper, and your consistency more reliable. Rest fuels self-control, and self-control fuels success. By sleeping well, you are reinforcing your ability to stay committed to your goals. Consistent sleep improves decision-making in powerful ways. Fatigue clouds judgment, slows thinking, and increases mistakes. A tired person may make choices that create setbacks, while a rested person sees options clearly and acts with confidence. Every extra hour of quality rest is an investment in smarter, faster, more effective decisions that shape your future. Another way sleep strengthens your life is by balancing hormones that control appetite, energy, and stress. When you don't sleep enough, hunger increases, cravings spike, and energy crashes. This creates cycles of poor eating and low motivation. But with proper rest, your body stays balanced, your appetite stabilizes, and your energy remains steady. This balance helps you stay consistent in other daily habits that lead to growth. Your long-term health is also tied to how well you sleep today. Chronic lack of sleep increases the risk of serious conditions, weakens immunity, and accelerates aging. But consistent, restorative rest protects your heart, strengthens your brain, and supports longevity. Every night of quality sleep is an investment in a longer, sharper, healthier life. Sleep also supports clarity of focus. With proper rest, distractions lose their power, and you can lock your attention onto one task at a time. This ability to focus deeply is one of the greatest advantages sleep provides, because it allows you to achieve more in less time. The difference between a rested brain and a tired one is the difference between sharp concentration and constant distraction. Good rest also influences confidence. When you feel exhausted, you doubt yourself, you hesitate, and you lose energy to pursue your goals. But with strong sleep, you wake with certainty, ready to move forward with strength. Rest gives you the inner stability to trust yourself and act with courage, and that confidence changes how you approach everything in life. Sleep even improves physical performance in ways many people overlook. Whether you are training, working, or simply living your daily routine, rest ensures your coordination, reaction time, and endurance are at their best. Without rest, the body feels heavy and sluggish, but with it, you move with energy and precision. Sleep is one of the most important performance enhancers you will ever use, and it costs nothing but discipline. Perhaps the most powerful truth about sleep is that it sets the tone for every single day. A poor night of rest can weaken focus, lower mood, and slow productivity, but a great night of rest gives you strength, clarity, and motivation to use your day wisely. Each morning is built the night before, and those who respect sleep rise with the power to create, achieve, and grow. Prioritizing sleep means creating habits that protect it. Disconnecting from distractions before bed, maintaining a consistent schedule, and creating a restful environment are small decisions that pay enormous rewards. Protecting sleep is protecting your mind, body, and future. Each choice you make to value rest is a choice to live at a higher level. Sleep is not about being lazy. It is about fueling greatness. Every night of strong, restorative rest is a step toward more energy, sharper memory, and a healthier life. If you want your mind to be clear, your energy to be strong, and your memory to be sharp, you must honor the power of sleep. Choose to sleep well daily, and you will wake each morning ready to live with focus, discipline, and unstoppable energy. Chapter 14. Solve small problems daily to build smarter solutions. Every day presents opportunities to solve small problems, and each solution you create is a step toward building sharper thinking and smarter decision-making that will serve you for a lifetime. Life is full of challenges, both big and small, and tackling the minor ones consistently trains your mind to analyze, strategize, and act with clarity. The process of solving problems is not just about removing obstacles, it is a practice in developing intelligence, resilience, and creative thinking that compounds over time. When you choose to address small issues daily, you are training your brain to notice patterns and identify solutions quickly. Each problem you solve is a workout for your mind, strengthening the neural pathways responsible for reasoning, judgment, and logic. People who avoid minor difficulties often struggle when major challenges arise because their minds are unpracticed at critical thinking. By handling small problems consistently, you create a habit of solution-oriented thinking that prepares you for anything. Small problems are also perfect opportunities to experiment without fear. Unlike large crises, minor challenges allow you to test strategies, try different approaches, and observe what works. Each experiment provides feedback that sharpens your intuition and decision-making skills. Over time, this builds a mental toolbox of methods, techniques, and insights that can be applied to bigger problems with confidence and precision. Daily problem solving strengthens resilience. Life will always throw unexpected obstacles in your way, but by handling issues regularly, you cultivate patience, adaptability, and determination. Each small challenge you confront teaches you that setbacks are temporary and that solutions are always within reach. This mindset prevents frustration and builds the mental toughness necessary for sustained growth. Another benefit of solving small problems is that it teaches you prioritization. Not every difficulty requires the same level of attention, and practice helps you distinguish between what matters most and what can be managed efficiently. Learning to assess urgency, importance, and potential impact sharpens judgment and allows you to allocate your energy effectively. When major challenges arise, you are prepared to respond strategically instead of reacting impulsively. Daily problem solving also builds confidence. Each solution you create reinforces your belief in your ability to handle challenges. Confidence grows as you realize that no issue is insurmountable and that your mind is capable of navigating complexity. This self-assurance strengthens decision-making, reduces hesitation, and encourages a proactive approach to life rather than a reactive one. Small problems also enhance creativity. When faced with a challenge, you are forced to think outside conventional methods, combine ideas, and find innovative ways to overcome obstacles. Creative thinking improves with practice, and each small problem is an opportunity to stretch your mental flexibility. Over time, this leads to a mind that approaches situations with originality and resourcefulness rather than limitation. Addressing minor difficulties daily also improves focus. When you tackle a problem, you must concentrate on the issue, consider solutions, and evaluate outcomes. This process trains your brain to stay present, analyze details, and resist distraction. The more you practice this, the more your ability to focus under pressure strengthens, enhancing productivity and decision-making across all areas of life. Daily problem-solving teaches patience and persistence. Not every challenge is solved immediately, and some require careful thought, trial and error, or repeated effort. By facing small obstacles regularly, you learn to tolerate temporary setbacks and persist until solutions are found. This habit translates into long-term success because it conditions your mind to remain steady and determined in the face of bigger challenges. Small problems also reveal hidden weaknesses and opportunities for growth. Each difficulty highlights areas where you need improvement, whether in knowledge, skills, or emotional management. By confronting these issues early, you address weaknesses before they escalate into larger problems. Daily engagement with challenges creates continuous self-improvement, making your mind sharper and more capable over time. Solving small problems regularly also strengthens decision-making speed. By practicing evaluation, choice, and action on minor issues, you train your mind to act decisively. Indecision weakens confidence and drains energy, but consistent problem-solving builds decisiveness. Over time, Your ability to assess situations quickly and act appropriately becomes consecutive, giving you a significant advantage in personal and professional life. Daily engagement with challenges also encourages accountability. Each problem you solve reminds you that your actions directly influence outcomes. You learn to take responsibility rather than blame circumstances or others. This habit fosters maturity, self-reliance, and ownership, qualities that underpin long-term success and intelligent problem-solving. Small problems often contain lessons that extend beyond the immediate solution. By reflecting on how you approached a challenge, you can extract principles, strategies, and insights that apply in other areas. Daily reflection after solving minor difficulties creates a habit of learning from experience, building wisdom that guides smarter choices in every aspect of life. Consistently solving problems also reduces fear of the unknown. People often avoid challenges because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. Each small problem you confront proves that you can handle uncertainty, make decisions, and adapt as needed. Over time, this reduces anxiety and builds courage, allowing you to approach complex or unfamiliar situations with confidence rather than hesitation. Daily problem solving strengthens planning and foresight. When you address small issues, you naturally begin anticipating potential difficulties and considering consequences before they arise. This habit of forward thinking improves judgment, reduces mistakes, and prepares you to handle larger challenges efficiently. You are training your mind to think ahead, not merely react to circumstances. Solving small problems also improves communication skills. Many difficulties involve interacting with others to clarify, negotiate, or find solutions. Regular practice develops your ability to articulate thoughts clearly, listen effectively, and collaborate toward resolution. Strong communication skills built through daily problem solving enhance both personal and professional relationships and open doors to new opportunities. Daily engagement with challenges encourages resourcefulness. When facing small problems, you learn to use available tools, knowledge, and creativity to find solutions. Over time, you develop an ability to maximize resources, adapt to constraints, and innovate under pressure. This flexibility strengthens your mind and prepares you to tackle challenges of any scale. Each small problem you solve builds momentum. Success breeds success, and every solution reinforces the belief that you can handle whatever comes next. This cumulative effect makes tackling bigger challenges less intimidating because your mind has practiced, adapted, and strengthened repeatedly. Momentum becomes a force that propels growth and builds a pattern of achievement. Solving small problems daily also reinforces clarity and analytical thinking. By breaking down an issue, evaluating options, and implementing solutions, you sharpen your ability to think logically and strategically. These skills are transferable to all areas of life, from work to relationships to personal development. Consistency in this practice ensures your mind becomes both sharper and more agile. The habit of daily problem solving is ultimately about mastery over life. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to improve your mind, strengthen your character, and expand your capacity to act intelligently. By committing to solving small problems every day, you cultivate a mindset that sees obstacles as opportunities and complexity as a training ground for excellence. Each morning presents countless small challenges, and each evening presents the chance to reflect on what you have solved. By facing these consistently, you build a life where your thinking is sharper, your decisions are smarter, and your solutions are more effective. Daily problem solving is not just a skill, it is a practice that trains your mind, prepares you for the future, and positions you for success in every aspect of life. Chapter 15. Plan tomorrow daily to improve organization and direction. Success does not happen by accident, and the clearest way to create it is by planning tomorrow today, giving yourself direction and purpose that turns intentions into results. Every night you spend organizing your next day is an investment in clarity, efficiency, and control over your time. Without a plan, days slip away with unfinished tasks and missed opportunities, but with deliberate preparation, you step into each morning with a roadmap that guides your energy toward meaningful action. Planning tomorrow daily allows you to prioritize what truly matters. Life presents countless demands, and without a clear outline of your objectives, it is easy to be pulled in multiple directions and lose sight of your goals. When you decide what must be accomplished the next day, you create focus and structure that prevents distraction and wasted effort. You move through your day purposefully instead of reacting to every small interruption. This habit also strengthens decision-making. By mapping out tomorrow in advance, you reduce the need for constant in-the-moment choices that drain energy and lead to indecision. Your plan serves as a framework for action, allowing you to make decisions confidently because the bigger picture is already clear. This preparation creates mental calm and frees energy for tasks that require creativity and problem-solving. Daily planning builds consistency and momentum. When you review your priorities and set goals each evening, you create a rhythm that carries forward into your mornings and afternoons. This consistency compounds over time, transforming small daily actions into measurable progress. Every task you complete according to your plan reinforces confidence and reinforces your commitment to growth. A practical approach to planning tomorrow includes reviewing what was accomplished today and identifying what still needs attention. This reflection clarifies where to focus and helps prevent repeated mistakes. By understanding what worked, what required more effort, and what can be adjusted, you sharpen your ability to organize tasks effectively and increase productivity. Planning is not just about writing a list. It is about strategic thinking and foresight. Planning tomorrow daily also enhances focus. When the day begins with a clear agenda, your mind knows where to place its attention, reducing the pull of distractions. You can move from task to task with purpose, completing actions efficiently, rather than wandering aimlessly through your schedule. This focus is the foundation of productivity, personal growth, and success. The habit of daily planning also builds resilience against stress. Uncertainty and disorganization are major sources of anxiety, but when you enter the day with a plan, you have a sense of control. Knowing exactly what needs to be done, when it will be done, and how you will approach each task, reduces overwhelm and builds confidence in your ability to manage challenges. Planning is a shield against chaos and a tool for mental clarity. Daily planning also improves time management. By allocating periods for specific tasks, you ensure that high-priority activities receive the attention they deserve. You avoid the trap of spending too much time on low-impact actions, and you structure your hours so that the most important goals are addressed efficiently. This creates a flow that makes the day feel purposeful and fulfilling. Another benefit of planning tomorrow in advance is that it enhances accountability. Writing down your intentions establishes a commitment, both to yourself and to others, if your work involves collaboration. When tasks are clearly defined, it becomes easier to track progress and measure success. This accountability strengthens discipline and ensures that you follow through on your commitments consistently. Daily planning also cultivates flexibility and adaptability. While unexpected events may arise, having a clear framework allows you to adjust without losing direction. You can reallocate time, shift priorities, and remain effective even when circumstances change. The combination of preparation and adaptability creates a mindset that thrives under pressure and responds intelligently to challenges. Planning tomorrow daily improves clarity of thought. By thinking through your tasks, priorities and objectives the night before, your mind organizes ideas and identifies the most efficient path forward. This process reduces mental clutter, prevents last-minute panic, and allows for a smoother, more deliberate approach to problem solving. A clear mind acts decisively and accomplishes more in less time. Another advantage is that it strengthens long-term vision. Daily planning connects immediate actions with larger goals, helping you understand how small steps contribute to bigger achievements. This alignment ensures that your energy is invested wisely and that you are moving consistently toward meaningful outcomes. Planning tomorrow bridges the gap between intention and progress, creating a sense of purpose in every action. Planning also enhances motivation. When your objectives are clear, you know exactly why each task matters and how it moves you forward. This awareness drives action and reduces procrastination, because you are not acting blindly, you are acting with reason, clarity and purpose. Daily preparation transforms vague goals into actionable steps, which increases momentum and energy for accomplishment. It also improves problem anticipation. By reviewing tasks and goals for the next day, you can foresee potential obstacles and prepare strategies to overcome them. This proactive approach reduces stress and prevents minor issues from derailing your plans. Anticipation strengthens your ability to act strategically and respond effectively when challenges arise. Daily planning strengthens self-discipline. Consistently setting intentions and following through builds the habit of commitment, training your mind to honor agreements with yourself. Discipline becomes automatic as your actions align with your goals, and this reliability fuels confidence, resilience, and growth in all areas of life. The process of planning tomorrow daily also encourages reflection. By reviewing what you accomplished today, what remains, and what adjustments are necessary, you gain valuable insight into your patterns of productivity. This reflection creates a cycle of continuous improvement, helping you refine strategies and optimize results over time. Planning is both preparation and self-assessment, ensuring progress is intentional and informed. Daily planning also creates mental peace. When you know what the next day holds, you can rest without anxiety. Sleep becomes more restorative because your mind is not occupied with worry or scattered thoughts. This combination of preparation and rest fuels sharper thinking, greater energy, and a stronger sense of control over your life. Planning tomorrow daily is ultimately about taking command of your life. Every successful individual prioritizes clarity and organization because these habits determine how effectively time and energy are used. By committing to daily preparation, you position yourself to act decisively, manage challenges proactively, and make consistent progress toward meaningful goals. When planning tomorrow becomes a habit, each day starts with intention rather than reaction. You gain the power to direct your energy toward high-value tasks, handle challenges with calm, and measure your growth continuously. Daily planning is not a chore, it is a transformative practice that shapes focus, strengthens discipline, and ensures that every day contributes to your long-term success. By investing a few minutes each night to plan, you create a powerful ripple effect in your life. Clarity increases, focus improves, decisions are smarter, and progress accelerates. Your life begins to move with purpose and organization, instead of randomness and chaos. Daily planning is the habit that builds momentum, strengthens control, and turns small actions into extraordinary results. Chapter 16. Challenge beliefs daily to strengthen flexible thinking ability. Growth begins when you question what you think you know, and challenging your beliefs daily is the gateway to sharper thinking, greater understanding, and mental flexibility that allows you to thrive in any situation. Beliefs shape your perception of reality, guide your actions, and determine the results you achieve, but unexamined beliefs can also limit potential, blind you to opportunities, and anchor you in outdated patterns. By actively testing your assumptions every day, you create space for new ideas, stronger reasoning, and a mind that adapts to change with ease and confidence. Challenging beliefs daily requires courage, because it demands honesty with yourself. It is easy to cling to familiar ideas because they feel safe, but mental comfort rarely leads to growth. Each time you question a deeply held assumption, you expose your thinking to new perspectives, and this exercise stretches your mind, making it more resilient and open. Flexible thinking emerges from this practice, allowing you to approach challenges creatively and make smarter decisions. This practice also strengthens critical thinking. When you evaluate your own beliefs, you learn to differentiate between assumptions, facts, and opinions. You begin to examine evidence, weigh alternatives, and identify inconsistencies in your thinking. Over time, this sharpens your judgment and allows you to make more informed choices instead of reacting impulsively or relying on outdated habits. Daily belief challenging fosters humility. Recognizing that you do not have all the answers opens your mind to learning. This willingness to explore, question, and adapt creates intellectual curiosity that drives personal growth. Humility does not diminish confidence. Instead, it strengthens it by allowing you to see the world more clearly and respond intelligently to complex situations. Questioning beliefs daily also reduces rigidity in thought. When your mind is open to examining ideas, you become less prone to fear-based thinking, stubbornness, or resistance to change. This adaptability enables you to navigate uncertainty and adjust strategies when circumstances shift. Flexible thinking makes you more capable of handling life's unpredictability without being overwhelmed or paralyzed by rigidity. Engaging with different perspectives is a key part of challenging beliefs. By listening to viewpoints that oppose your own and considering them thoughtfully, you strengthen your analytical abilities. You learn to recognize biases, test assumptions, and identify the core of what is true versus what is opinion. This exposure expands your understanding and enhances your ability to make balanced, intelligent decisions. Challenging beliefs daily also fuels creativity. When you allow your mind to question and explore, new connections emerge between ideas that previously seemed unrelated. You discover innovative approaches to problems and uncover opportunities that rigid thinking would miss. Creative thinking grows naturally when the mind is exercised in evaluating, revising, and reconstructing its own frameworks. This practice develops resilience as well. Life constantly challenges us with situations that conflict with our expectations, and the ability to adapt begins with examining what we believe. By questioning your own ideas daily, you strengthen mental agility and cultivate a mindset that can pivot, recover, and respond effectively when faced with setbacks or surprises. Flexible thinking becomes a protective skill against frustration and stagnation. Challenging beliefs daily also encourages introspection and self-awareness. You begin to identify patterns in how you think, what you value, and why you make decisions. This awareness is essential for personal growth because it allows you to separate constructive beliefs from limiting ones. You can reinforce habits that support success and discard thought patterns that hinder progress. The habit of questioning beliefs improves learning efficiency. When you approach new information with a mindset of exploration and verification, you absorb knowledge more effectively. You filter out misinformation, recognize relevance, and integrate new concepts with existing understanding. This proactive learning approach ensures your mind continues to expand and evolve, making you smarter every day. Daily examination of beliefs also strengthens emotional intelligence. When you understand your own assumptions and consider how others' beliefs shape their behavior, you become more empathetic and better at navigating social dynamics. Flexible thinking helps you respond with understanding rather than defensiveness, improving relationships and collaboration. Challenging beliefs encourages a growth mindset. When you test your ideas and learn from mistakes or new information, you understand that intelligence is not fixed, but developed through effort and reflection. This mindset propels you to seek improvement, embrace challenges, and approach life with curiosity rather than fear of failure. Each belief you question is an opportunity to expand your mental capacity. The process also builds decisiveness. Once you consistently practice examining assumptions, you become better at evaluating situations quickly and accurately. Your decisions are based on critical reasoning and evidence rather than habit, fear, or social pressure. This clarity allows you to act confidently and strategically, knowing your choices are informed by deliberate thinking. Challenging beliefs daily prevents stagnation. Without this practice, it is easy to repeat patterns of thought that no longer serve your growth. The mind becomes rigid, resistant to change, and slow to adapt. Regularly questioning your assumptions keeps your thinking fresh, agile, and ready to tackle complex problems with innovation and insight. Daily belief challenging also sharpens problem-solving skills. When you are accustomed to examining ideas critically, you approach challenges with multiple perspectives and alternative solutions. You do not settle for the first answer or follow conventional wisdom blindly. Instead, you assess, experiment, and implement solutions that are smarter and more effective. This habit strengthens your confidence in navigating uncertainty. The world is unpredictable, and rigid beliefs can leave you unprepared. By constantly testing and refining your thinking, you develop the ability to make decisions and act decisively even when outcomes are unclear. Flexible thinking transforms uncertainty from a source of fear into an opportunity for intelligent action. Challenging beliefs daily also cultivates a sense of empowerment. You realize that your mind is not a passive receiver of ideas, but an active participant in shaping your understanding. You control how you interpret information, what you accept as true, and how you respond to challenges. This self-directed thinking builds autonomy, resilience, and intellectual independence. Daily practice also enhances adaptability in communication. When you are aware of multiple perspectives and understand the fluidity of truth, you can express ideas clearly, listen actively, and negotiate effectively. Flexible thinking improves your ability to influence, collaborate, and solve conflicts in personal and professional settings. Challenging beliefs is a lifelong skill that compounds over time. Each day you question, evaluate, and refine your assumptions, your mind becomes sharper, more open, and more capable. Small daily efforts in examining your own thinking accumulate into a powerful capacity for intelligence, innovation, and growth that will serve you throughout life. When you commit to challenging your beliefs daily, you create a habit of mental strength, curiosity, and adaptability. You are no longer confined by outdated assumptions or limited perspectives. Instead, you move through life with a flexible mind, capable of learning quickly, solving problems effectively, and responding intelligently to any situation. This habit transforms thinking into a dynamic tool for growth, success, and personal mastery. Chapter 17: Connect with smart people daily. To learn faster. Surrounding yourself with intelligent and insightful people daily accelerates your growth, expands your perspective, and gives you access to knowledge that would take years to acquire alone. Every interaction with someone who thinks deeply, acts deliberately, or sees the world differently is an opportunity to absorb lessons, refine your own ideas, and strengthen your mental capabilities. Learning from others is not passive, It requires attentiveness, curiosity, and the willingness to engage critically, but the rewards are immense because knowledge compounds faster when shared and discussed. Connecting with smart people daily exposes you to diverse experiences and viewpoints that challenge your assumptions and expand your understanding. When you spend time with individuals who have mastered skills, accumulated wisdom, or approached problems differently, you gain insight into strategies, habits, and mindsets that produce results. Observing their methods and asking thoughtful questions allows you to internalize practices that enhance your own learning and decision-making. The benefits of daily connection with intelligent individuals go beyond knowledge transfer. Being around smart people encourages accountability because their habits, discipline, and focus set a standard you are naturally inclined to meet. You begin to mirror behaviors that promote growth, from how they manage time to how they approach challenges, creating a positive feedback loop that accelerates your progress. Listening actively to others is crucial. Smart people often communicate complex ideas clearly, but understanding them requires concentration, reflection, and the ability to extract principles that apply to your life. Active listening allows you to notice patterns, identify insights, and integrate new information into your own thinking. This practice strengthens comprehension, critical thinking, and adaptability. Engaging with intelligent individuals daily also improves your problem-solving skills. Exposure to different approaches teaches you that there is rarely only one way to solve a challenge. By observing how others think, analyze, and act, you develop flexibility in your own methods, learning to evaluate situations from multiple angles and implement more effective solutions. Daily connection fosters creativity. Conversations with sharp, innovative minds spark ideas, challenge conventional thinking, and inspire you to experiment with new strategies. This exchange of perspectives allows you to combine knowledge in unique ways, generating creative solutions that you might not have conceived in isolation. Creative thinking thrives when nurtured by collaboration with others who challenge and inspire you. Building relationships with smart individuals also develops your communication and interpersonal skills. By interacting with those who are articulate, insightful, and deliberate in their thinking, you learn to express ideas clearly, ask better questions, and present arguments persuasively. These skills are transferable to every area of life, strengthening both professional and personal connections. Daily interaction with intelligent people sharpens your self-awareness. As you compare your thinking, habits, and approaches to theirs, you gain insight into your strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement. This reflection encourages deliberate self-improvement as you identify which qualities to emulate and which limitations to address. Awareness is the first step toward consistent growth and refinement of your abilities. Engaging with smart individuals challenges complacency. When you encounter minds that excel, it motivates you to raise your own standards. Mediocrity is exposed, and the desire to keep pace with intelligent peers encourages consistent effort, discipline, and curiosity. Daily engagement becomes a source of inspiration, driving you to expand your capabilities rather than settle into comfort. Learning from smart people daily also improves decision-making. Observing how they evaluate information, weigh options, and anticipate outcomes provides a template for your own reasoning process. You develop the ability to think more strategically, analyze situations critically, and make informed choices under pressure. Exposure to high-level thinking accelerates the development of your judgment and discernment. Networking with intelligent minds exposes you to opportunities for collaboration and mentorship. Some lessons are learned faster through guidance and observation than trial and error alone. Mentorship accelerates growth because it distills experience, providing shortcuts that bypass unnecessary mistakes. Regular engagement ensures that these lessons are continuous rather than occasional, creating a steady stream of learning. Connecting with smart individuals enhances your adaptability. By seeing how others approach change, manage uncertainty, and innovate, you internalize strategies that allow you to adjust quickly to new circumstances. Flexibility becomes a habit, and the mind learns to embrace challenges as opportunities rather than threats. The more diverse the perspectives you engage with, the more agile and resilient your thinking becomes. Daily interactions also boost confidence in your intellectual abilities. When you converse with smart individuals and contribute meaningfully, you recognize your capacity to learn, adapt, and add value. This confidence fuels further engagement, creating a virtuous cycle of growth, exploration, and contribution that reinforces both knowledge and self-assurance. Spending time with intelligent people expands your worldview. Exposure to different cultures, industries, and life experiences broadens your understanding of what is possible. You see patterns, strategies, and solutions beyond your immediate environment, which increases creativity, problem-solving skills, and the ability to anticipate trends or challenges in your personal and professional life. Daily engagement with smart minds fosters discipline. Observing their habits, routines, and time management reinforces the importance of structure and consistency in achieving goals. Their examples provide a practical blueprint for organizing your own life in a way that maximizes focus, efficiency, and long-term results. This consistent exposure encourages habitual growth and self-mastery. Connecting regularly also strengthens curiosity. Intelligent people often approach life with questioning, exploration, and a desire to understand deeply. Their mindset encourages you to ask more questions, seek deeper answers, and explore subjects outside your comfort zone. Curiosity expands knowledge and promotes continuous learning, keeping the mind sharp and engaged. Collaborating with smart individuals teaches the value of perspective. When you hear different interpretations and approaches, you develop empathy for alternative viewpoints and the ability to negotiate ideas effectively. Understanding diverse perspectives enhances communication, reduces conflict, and improves collaboration, which strengthens both personal and professional relationships. Daily connection reinforces problem anticipation. By discussing experiences, challenges, and solutions with knowledgeable people, you learn to foresee obstacles before they arise. This foresight allows you to plan, adapt, and respond proactively, reducing errors and increasing efficiency. Exposure to others' experiences accelerates learning beyond what personal trial and error could provide. Finally, connecting with intelligent people daily cultivates a lifelong habit of learning. Each conversation, exchange, or observation is an opportunity to grow, and by committing to this practice, your mind becomes a dynamic instrument that continuously absorbs knowledge, refines thinking, and applies insights effectively. Surrounding yourself with brilliance consistently elevates your own thinking, enhances problem solving, and positions you for accelerated growth in every aspect of life. Chapter 18. Practice mindfulness daily to sharpen focus and clarity. Clarity of mind is not a gift. It is a skill cultivated through daily practice, and mindfulness is the tool that sharpens your focus, enhances decision-making, and strengthens mental resilience in every aspect of life. Practicing mindfulness every day trains your mind to observe thoughts without judgment, to center attention on the present moment, and to respond intentionally rather than react impulsively. This practice develops a level of awareness that transforms how you think, act, and solve problems, allowing you to operate with precision and calm in any situation. Mindfulness improves focus by teaching your mind to remain anchored in the present. Distractions constantly pull attention in multiple directions, But by consciously returning focus to the current task, you enhance your ability to concentrate for longer periods. This improved attention span increases productivity and allows for deeper understanding in every area of your life. Each moment spent in focused awareness builds mental stamina and reduces the mental fatigue caused by scattered thinking. Daily mindfulness practice also strengthens emotional regulation. By observing thoughts and feelings without immediately reacting, you create a buffer between stimulus and response. This pause allows for clearer reasoning and more intentional behavior. Over time, emotional impulses lose their power to derail decision-making, and you develop the ability to navigate stress, conflict, and uncertainty with composure and clarity. Mindfulness enhances clarity by helping you distinguish between what is important and what is trivial. A mind trained to observe itself recognizes unnecessary mental clutter, habitual worries, and unproductive thought patterns. This awareness allows you to prioritize actions based on reasoned judgment rather than fleeting impulses. With daily practice, clarity becomes second nature, guiding every decision and interaction with precision. Practicing mindfulness daily cultivates self-awareness. Awareness of your own thought processes, emotional triggers, and behavioral patterns creates insight that is essential for growth. You learn to identify biases, habitual responses, and areas where mental energy is wasted. This understanding provides a foundation for continuous improvement and enables intentional development of habits that align with your goals. Mindfulness also strengthens problem-solving skills. A calm, focused mind can analyze challenges objectively and generate effective solutions. By observing situations without judgment, you notice details that might otherwise be overlooked and approach problems with creativity and reason. Each moment of mindful attention builds the capacity to assess situations with accuracy, making you more effective in both personal and professional contexts. Daily mindfulness improves memory retention and learning. By training the brain to focus fully on the present, you encode information more deeply and retrieve it more effectively. Mindful attention enhances comprehension, reduces errors, and strengthens the ability to recall details when needed. This practice not only improves cognitive performance, but also increases confidence in your ability to absorb and utilize knowledge. Mindfulness fosters resilience. Life presents constant challenges and unexpected obstacles, and a mind trained in awareness can navigate these with composure. Recognizing thoughts and emotions without becoming overwhelmed allows you to respond to adversity strategically rather than reactively. Daily practice builds a mental foundation that strengthens endurance, patience, and adaptability under pressure. Engaging in mindfulness every day also deepens creativity. By observing the mind without distraction or judgment, you create space for innovative ideas to emerge. Thought patterns become flexible, and the mind can connect seemingly unrelated concepts, producing insights that might be missed in a cluttered, distracted state. Mindful awareness allows for exploration, experimentation, and the generation of solutions that are both practical and inventive. Mindfulness cultivates gratitude and presence. By focusing fully on each experience, you notice details and subtleties often overlooked in hurried, distracted living. Recognizing and appreciating these moments fosters a positive mental state, reduces stress, and encourages intentional living. Daily mindfulness transforms ordinary experiences into opportunities for awareness and growth. Practicing mindfulness enhances decision-making under pressure. When your mind is calm, focused, and attentive, choices are made based on reasoning rather than emotion or habit. Observing situations clearly without distortion allows you to identify optimal paths and execute them confidently. Over time, this skill creates a decisive, deliberate, and effective approach to challenges and opportunities alike. Daily mindfulness sharpens attention to detail. By observing thoughts, actions, and surroundings carefully, you notice patterns, inconsistencies, and opportunities that would otherwise go unseen. This heightened awareness enables smarter actions, improved problem solving, and more accurate assessment of situations, leading to better outcomes in both personal and professional spheres. Mindfulness strengthens interpersonal interactions. Being fully present with others enhances listening, understanding, and empathy. Conversations become more meaningful, collaborations more effective, and conflicts easier to resolve. The clarity gained from daily mindfulness allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally, improving both relationships and communication. Practicing mindfulness daily also reduces mental noise. Excessive thinking, worry, and rumination clutter the mind and drain energy. Observing these patterns without attachment or judgment allows them to dissipate naturally. As mental clutter decreases, focus sharpens, creativity emerges, and mental energy becomes available for the tasks that truly matter. Mindfulness enhances adaptability. By being aware of your internal state and external circumstances, you are better equipped to respond flexibly when plans change or unexpected challenges arise. Daily practice strengthens mental agility, allowing you to pivot efficiently while maintaining clarity and composure. This flexibility is essential for navigating complex or rapidly changing environments successfully. Daily mindfulness practice fosters long-term cognitive health. Consistently training attention and awareness strengthens neural pathways associated with focus, memory, and emotional regulation. Over time, the brain becomes more efficient at managing distractions, processing information, and sustaining attention, which directly contributes to smarter thinking and enhanced mental performance. Mindfulness also reinforces self-discipline. The practice of returning focus to the present moment repeatedly requires patience, consistency, and commitment. This discipline carries over into other areas of life, improving productivity, habit formation, and the ability to maintain focus on long-term goals. Each session strengthens both mental control and personal accountability. Practicing mindfulness daily encourages reflection and learning. Observing your thoughts and reactions provides insight into decision-making patterns, habitual biases, and areas for growth. This reflection promotes intentional change, helping you develop habits and strategies that support continuous improvement and smarter actions in daily life. Mindfulness cultivates a balanced perspective. By observing both positive and negative experiences without attachment, you gain the ability to respond with reason rather than emotion. This balance improves judgment, reduces stress, and promotes thoughtful action in every situation. A mind trained in mindfulness maintains clarity, focus, and rationality even amidst chaos. Daily mindfulness transforms the way you experience life. Each moment becomes an opportunity to sharpen focus, strengthen clarity, and cultivate mental resilience. By dedicating time every day to practice awareness, you create a mind that operates with precision, absorbs knowledge effectively, and responds intelligently to challenges. Mindfulness is the foundation for smarter thinking, deliberate action, and continuous personal growth. Chapter 19. Use mistakes daily as lessons for better actions. Mistakes are not setbacks. They are the most powerful teachers, if approached with intention and reflection. And using them daily as lessons transforms failure into a source of insight, growth, and smarter decision-making. Every error, no matter how small, contains valuable information about your choices, actions, and thought patterns. And when you examine these honestly, you gain clarity on how to improve and act more effectively in the future. Understanding that mistakes are data points rather than judgments frees the mind from fear of failure and opens the door to continuous learning and improvement. To use mistakes as lessons daily, the first step is to observe them without defensiveness. Avoid rationalizing or blaming circumstances. Instead, identify exactly what went wrong, what led to the outcome, and which decisions contributed to the result. This objective analysis reveals patterns that may have gone unnoticed and provides a foundation for smarter action in similar situations. The act of reflection is not punitive, it is investigative, designed to extract insight that informs better choices moving forward. Daily application requires turning insight into action. Observing a mistake is not enough. The lesson becomes valuable only when applied to future decisions. If a project failed due to poor planning, adopt a habit of mapping steps and anticipating obstacles next time. If a conversation failed due to lack of clarity, commit to expressing your thoughts more precisely. Each correction strengthens your ability to respond effectively in real time. And over time, these improvements compound into a consistently higher level of competence. Using mistakes daily also builds resilience. When you accept errors as natural and useful, you reduce the emotional weight they carry. Fear and frustration often block learning, but a mindset that sees mistakes as opportunities fosters courage and adaptability. Resilience grows because each error becomes a controlled experiment, revealing what works and what does not, which removes uncertainty and strengthens confidence in handling challenges. Mistakes teach humility, a key trait of intelligent individuals. Acknowledging that you are not perfect and that errors are part of the process allows you to remain open to feedback, new strategies, and alternative viewpoints. Humility encourages continuous improvement because it creates a willingness to evolve rather than cling stubbornly to ineffective habits or assumptions. By learning from mistakes every day, you cultivate a growth-oriented mindset that embraces challenge and values learning over ego. Daily reflection on mistakes improves critical thinking. Each error becomes a case study, prompting questions such as what assumptions were incorrect, what information was missing, and what alternatives could have been considered. This analytical approach sharpens your reasoning, owns judgment, and develops the ability to foresee consequences before acting. Over time, you become more strategic, precise, and effective in both thinking and action. Mistakes also reveal blind spots. When you make an error, it often exposes weaknesses in knowledge, skills, or perception. By confronting these blind spots daily, you can address gaps proactively rather than allowing them to cause repeated setbacks. This practice strengthens competence, builds confidence, and fosters self-awareness, creating a foundation for sustained improvement and smarter decision-making. Using mistakes daily encourages experimentation and innovation. When the fear of failure diminishes, you are more willing to try new approaches, explore unconventional solutions, and challenge existing habits. Each error becomes feedback that refines your strategy and teaches how to optimize outcomes. Innovation thrives in an environment where mistakes are embraced as stepping stones rather than avoided at all costs. Daily learning from mistakes strengthens problem-solving abilities. Each error presents a challenge that, when analyzed, reveals solutions that might not have been considered otherwise. By approaching mistakes methodically, you learn to anticipate obstacles, develop contingency plans, and respond effectively in complex or unpredictable situations. The mind becomes trained to see problems not as threats, but as opportunities to refine strategy and improve performance. Mistakes also enhance emotional intelligence. By examining the emotional triggers that contributed to an error, you gain insight into how feelings influence decisions. This understanding allows for better management of impulses, reactions, and interpersonal interactions. Each lesson from mistakes strengthens your capacity to act thoughtfully rather than reactively, improving relationships and overall effectiveness. Using mistakes daily reinforces accountability. When you take responsibility for errors, you cultivate integrity, discipline, and a proactive mindset. Avoiding blame shifts focus from learning to justification, whereas embracing responsibility focuses attention on solutions and growth. This practice develops a strong sense of personal ownership over outcomes, which is essential for consistent achievement and progress. Daily examination of mistakes enhances memory and learning retention. When you actively reflect on what went wrong and why, your brain encodes the experience deeply, increasing the likelihood that you will remember and apply the lesson in the future. This active learning process accelerates skill acquisition and knowledge integration, making you more effective in both routine and novel situations. Mistakes also encourage patience. Understanding that mastery and growth require trial and error helps you tolerate temporary setbacks and maintain persistence. Daily practice of learning from mistakes reinforces the idea that progress is incremental, and patience becomes a tool to navigate the journey toward competence, intelligence, and personal excellence. Daily application also strengthens strategic thinking. By analyzing patterns in mistakes over time, you identify recurring challenges, anticipate potential pitfalls, and adjust your approach proactively. Each error becomes a guide for refining strategy, improving planning, and increasing the likelihood of success in future endeavors. Strategic thinking develops naturally as you convert errors into actionable insights. Using mistakes daily cultivates self-confidence, recognizing that errors are a normal part of growth and that each provides valuable lessons, reduces fear and hesitation. Confidence grows because you know that even when outcomes are imperfect, you have the tools and insight to learn, adjust, and act more effectively. This assurance reinforces continuous action and persistent effort. Daily learning from mistakes fosters adaptability. When you view errors as informative rather than catastrophic, you develop the ability to pivot, adjust, and explore alternative solutions rapidly. This adaptability is critical in dynamic environments where rigid thinking leads to repeated setbacks, while flexibility and responsiveness create opportunities for success. Mistakes also reinforce the importance of reflection. Taking the time daily to analyze errors encourages a mindset of continuous assessment and refinement. Reflection becomes a habit that improves judgment, supports smarter decision-making, and strengthens mental clarity, ensuring that lessons are not lost, but integrated into future actions. Using mistakes daily supports the development of innovation under pressure. When errors reveal gaps in knowledge or flaws in approach, you are prompted to devise new methods, techniques, or strategies. This practice cultivates a mind that not only learns from experience, but actively seeks improvements, turning each mistake into an opportunity to outperform previous limitations. Finally, using mistakes daily as lessons transforms every experience into a step toward mastery. Each failure is a teacher, each error a guide, and each setback a chance to improve. By committing to this practice consistently, you create a mindset that converts challenges into insights, obstacles into opportunities, and failures into the fuel for smarter, stronger, and more effective actions in every area of life. Chapter 20. Celebrate small wins daily to reinforce consistent growth. Every step forward deserves recognition because celebrating small wins daily creates momentum, reinforces progress, and transforms consistent effort into meaningful growth. Acknowledging even minor accomplishments trains your mind to focus on positive outcomes, builds confidence, and strengthens the habit of persistence, which is essential for achieving long-term goals. Each small win acts as a signal that your actions are effective, providing motivation to continue and fostering a sense of achievement that fuels further effort. Celebrating small victories daily shifts your perspective from focusing solely on distant goals to appreciating progress in real time. Recognizing incremental improvements reinforces the behaviors that lead to success and encourages you to maintain disciplined action. This mindset transforms challenges into opportunities for recognition and learning rather than sources of frustration or discouragement. Daily acknowledgement of achievements also strengthens motivation. When you see tangible evidence of your progress, your mind releases satisfaction and reinforces the desire to continue striving. This creates a positive feedback loop where consistent effort produces results. Recognition amplifies motivation, and motivation drives further action. Over time, this cycle solidifies productive habits and strengthens personal discipline. Celebrating small wins enhances resilience. Life inevitably includes setbacks, but by focusing on small victories, you maintain a sense of accomplishment even during difficult periods. This perspective reduces stress, builds mental endurance, and ensures that challenges do not overshadow the progress you have already achieved. Each acknowledgement of success becomes a buffer against discouragement and burnout. Daily recognition of achievements cultivates gratitude for your own effort and growth. When you pause to appreciate what you have accomplished, no matter the scale, you develop an awareness of your capabilities and strengths. Gratitude fosters a positive mindset, reduces self-doubt, and reinforces the belief that consistent action produces meaningful results. This practice nurtures self-respect and confidence that grows steadily with each small success. Celebrating small wins also improves focus on actionable steps. Instead of fixating only on long-term outcomes, you train your mind to notice progress in daily effort and decisions. This awareness encourages deliberate action, sharpens attention to detail, and reinforces behaviors that contribute directly to achieving larger objectives. Recognizing progress in the moment enhances clarity and ensures that each step is purposeful. Daily celebration reinforces consistency. Recognizing achievements, however minor, teaches your mind to value the process rather than only the outcome. Consistent acknowledgement creates a habit of monitoring progress, maintaining effort, and continuously improving. Over time, consistency becomes ingrained, and small wins accumulate into significant transformation without relying on rare bursts of motivation or inspiration. Acknowledging small victories daily strengthens self-efficacy. Each success, no matter how small, demonstrates your ability to act effectively, make decisions, and influence outcomes. This awareness builds confidence in your capacity to handle challenges and achieve goals, reinforcing a proactive approach to problem solving and life in general. Self-efficacy grows cumulatively as each small win validates your ability to act intentionally and succeed. Celebrating incremental achievements improves mental clarity and focus. Taking time to recognize progress allows your mind to process accomplishments, understand what strategies are effective, and refine methods for future action. This reflection enhances decision-making, promotes efficiency, and ensures that each subsequent effort is informed by past experience, increasing the likelihood of success. Daily recognition of small wins cultivates a growth-oriented mindset. By focusing on progress rather than perfection, you learn to appreciate improvement and embrace learning as a continuous process. This mindset encourages experimentation, resilience, and openness to new strategies, because each small success validates your capacity to adapt, learn and grow over time. Celebrating victories enhances motivation for continuous improvement. When you see that small efforts produce tangible outcomes, you are more likely to persist, push boundaries, and seek additional opportunities for growth. This momentum builds naturally as each acknowledgement fuels the next action, creating a reinforcing cycle of achievement and personal development. Daily celebration also strengthens emotional intelligence. Recognizing your accomplishments teaches you to value effort, patience, and perseverance, which translates into greater awareness of others' progress and contributions. This habit enhances empathy, collaboration, and the ability to foster positive dynamics in both personal and professional relationships. Celebrating your own wins teaches you to celebrate others, creating a culture of mutual encouragement. Acknowledging small wins helps maintain perspective. Big goals can feel overwhelming, but breaking them into smaller achievements allows you to track progress, appreciate incremental success, and reduce anxiety about long-term outcomes. This perspective ensures sustained motivation, prevents discouragement, and provides tangible evidence that your efforts are meaningful and effective. Daily recognition strengthens discipline. By consistently noting progress, you reinforce habits, maintain focus, and create accountability for your actions. Each small win serves as proof that effort produces results, making it easier to continue following through on tasks, routines, and strategies that lead to significant growth over time. Discipline becomes self-reinforcing when linked to observable progress. Celebrating achievements improves confidence in decision-making. When you observe that your choices consistently produce positive results, even on a small scale, you develop trust in your judgment. This confidence allows for bolder, more deliberate action in future decisions, fostering a mindset of capability, self-assurance, and proactive growth. Daily acknowledgement enhances strategic thinking. Recognizing what worked well and why enables you to identify effective methods, refine approaches, and prioritize actions that yield results. Small wins serve as feedback mechanisms that guide better planning, optimize strategies, and increase the efficiency of effort over time. Strategic insight grows naturally from consistently observing and learning from successes. Celebrating progress reinforces long-term commitment. By recognizing achievements daily, you internalize the value of persistence and continuous effort. The habit of acknowledging wins ensures that momentum is maintained, motivation remains high, and the pursuit of larger goals continues steadily, even when challenges arise. Each small success becomes a building block for sustained growth and achievement. Daily recognition of accomplishments strengthens mental resilience. Focusing on successes, even minor ones, helps buffer against negative thinking, self-criticism, and doubt. This mental reinforcement equips you to handle setbacks with equanimity and ensures that challenges are perceived as opportunities to apply learned strategies rather than as insurmountable obstacles. Celebrating small wins reinforces clarity of purpose. By regularly noting progress, you maintain a clear sense of direction and ensure that daily actions align with overarching goals. Awareness of incremental achievements highlights which strategies are effective, which need adjustment, and how best to allocate effort, resulting in smarter, more intentional growth. Finally, celebrating small wins daily transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Each acknowledgement compounds over time, creating momentum, reinforcing habits, and strengthening motivation. Consistently recognizing progress turns action into achievement, dedication into mastery, and persistence into tangible growth. By committing to celebrate every step forward, no matter how small, you create a life of continuous improvement, self-confidence, and meaningful success.